Start my tip now. Wait.
It's like picking on children, though.
All right.
Yeah, what's your point? So anyway, hello, one viewer. What the hell are you doing up?
You go back to bed.
Yeah, it's probably Rictus anyway.
No, it ain't me. Tate
okay.
me. No,
Just
it
just so
ain't
the
me.
viewers are doing what I think they're doing while they're watching this.
Oh, I hope not.
So when I go to do something relatively contentious and fucked up, I like to take the temperature first and make you guys my conscience, right?
Yeah, that's a good decision.
Bad choice, but go ahead.
So if you watch the Awesome Crew show, which I know you all do, that's Wednesdays at 2 p.m. Eastern.
There's one viewer. Why bother?
Hey, that's one more viewer.
Probably
One
Benneberry.
more viewer who will be there tomorrow, Wednesday, 2 p.m. Eastern. They will be there now.
Yeah, but it's probably Benneberry anyway. He'll be there anyway.
If you like, I could tell you. If you like, I could tell your viewer about my Bionic Dance. The thing I had with Bionic Dance.
Oh,
was
go
actually
ahead when you left.
Do your thing first. Do your thing first, then I'll do mine.
All right. Basically, it was on the comment section, and it was G-Man's "Should I Give Up YouTube" video. She said, "Go away. Nobody likes you." Now, if G-Man went away, I wouldn't be terribly heartbroken. In fact, I think it would be a good chance for him just to gather himself and maybe work his way up to edifying himself in some way, shape, or form. So, but in any case, I responded and said, "At least he doesn't define atheists to the point of including plants and rocks."
Attaboy.
No, her response was actually pretty good. It was, "Believing in an invisible sky fairy is so much better, isn't it?" My response, "Sorry, I could not hear you over my car denying the existence of an invisible sky fairy. Does that sound ridiculous?" Her response, "The fact that you're trying to hear text only proves how worth conversating with you you're not." My response, "My hearing and reading abilities are atheists, so forgive me if I make a mistake."
Well, I do have to mention that Epicurus here is proof that some theists can be humorous, but they need to stop thumping the Bible first.
Yeah, that's true.
Her response, "Only God can forgive, and he doesn't exist. Looks like you're fucked, mate." My response, "That would sound more convincing if you didn't merely lack belief." Her response, "And you'd be a lot better at hurting my feelings if you didn't merely try to insult me by repeating what I think is correct at me, as if it were somehow a cutting mark. That's like saying you're a lesbian and you're Nina, or you're a Star Wars fan, haha." Shakes head. "You're not very good at this. It's really sad." My response, "Yeah, considering you lecture others and deride them for not using the nomenclature you like, I think that you have no room to protest someone else deriding you for your less than sensible definition of atheists."
Well, if her declaring herself to be an atheist is meaningful as a rock not declaring itself an atheist because it can't speak, then yeah, I'm sorry, I don't care what the fuck your argument is.
Oh no, but it gets better. Her response, "I'm not saying that you're really bad at deriding me. I'm saying that if you want to insult me or give me shit somehow, this is how you're going about doing it. Don't give up your day job." I can't even say nice try. This was extraordinarily shitty a try. My response, "Considering that I'm reducing your notion of atheism to the point of utter absurdity, I don't think I can do much else. Imagine if I accepted your definition of God as a magic sky fairy and said, so what? If you're okay with such terrible definitions, there's not much else I can do." Her response, Do you not realize that reductio ad absurdum is a logical fallacy, right? No, of course you didn't, dumbass. Tell me, the orderlies at the home don't let you use forks or shoelaces, do they? My response, reductio ad absurdum isn't a logical fallacy, you moron. And I sent a link proving it as such, because a reductio ad absurdum is actually a tried and true way of showing your opponent that they're being a moron.
Well, the thing is, hang on, I got to cut in here because we've touched on the whole magical sky fairy thing. And whenever that comes up, there's a couple things I need to point out, which is that the whole magical thing, maybe. The sky thing is highly questionable, but the fairy thing you can get biblical backing for.
Interesting.
That whole segment with God could, help them conquer the people of the hills and the yada yada yada, but the people of the valleys he could
Iron
not
chariots.
because of the iron chariots. Yeah. Fae cannot affect iron according to the legend, so you could actually make the argument that Yahweh could be Fae.
Oh.
It's a really stupid argument, but it's fun.
Yeah.
I could probably get under someone's craw, but her response is just pretty funny. Yes, it is a fallacy when you're using it the way you're trying to do it. Reductio ad absurdum is, and she quotes Rational Wiki because, of course, that's the source you turn to. Reductio ad absurdum is only valid when it builds on assertions that are actually present in the argument it is deconstructing, not when it misrepresents them as a straw man. Not that it matters, you're still pathetic. I mean, seriously, have you learned nothing? Do you really think you're going anywhere with this line of attack? You're making yourself look petty, and you're certainly not helping G-douche here. Even if I were to successfully even if you were to get on my case, which you won't, this is the best you can do. It won't change whether or not he's a tool who should pack up and leave. My response. Look here, bionic dunce. You said reductio ad absurdum is a logical fallacy. You made no distinction in the original comment, but asserted it outright that if it was a reductio, it was a fallacy. Secondly, you said reductio, not straw man. Even your own source said you were wrong because if your criticisms were that I was making a straw man from your argument, that would have been your complaint. Also, you have yet to show that I was making an assertion that wasn't in your argument, namely that anything which lacks belief, like plants and rocks, are atheists. He-Man may not be the smartest theist on here. He's basically the theist version of your sorry self, but at least he can admit at times when he is wrong. And I let her finish off with G-douche may admit he's wrong, but that's only because it happens so very, very often, and frankly, I'm under no obligation to show you jack shit, kiddo. You've been trying to keep the topic on me the whole time because you cannot defend G-stain. You just want to bust my chops, and you're really, really bad at it. So because I grow weary putting up with you, I'm watching the Rachel Maddow show, yada, yada. And that's how it ended.
Yeah, yada, yada.
Yeah,
She sounds vaguely bitter.
She's kind of a bitch, yeah.
Well, allow me to relate in the after show of the Cult of Honesty episode that she did, and she made a complete ass of herself.
Oh yeah.
I had a brief conversation with her in the after show, and I told her to stop being a bitch, and I told her, all this other kind of stuff. I just said, listen, you're just acting like a total bitch right now. You should probably knock it off. And she's like, sir, you are being really insulting. Go get plugged. My response: you're the least convincing tranny I've ever seen.
Oh, snap!
That's where that ended.
Hurt. Oh.
Yeah.
I don't know how people have dealt with her for years on YouTube.
Probably,
She must have made some good early content, maybe.
Well, there are some people that still follow her, that still think that she occasionally makes valid arguments and what have you. I've dealt with a few of them, but God, the dogma on that one. The dogma in this one is strong.
Can't she just admit she's wrong about something?
No, that's the problem. She can't.
Yeah, I know. I'm saying rhetorically.
No, the way I phrased that was really fucking stupid. You're right. No, can't do it.
Yeah, exactly.
I tried to break it down for her very simple, because I got just a way of thinking about things that sometimes some people view as simple. Simple doesn't mean stupid, just means simple.
Mm-hmm.
And I explained to her that, listen, if we're gonna, well, she's technically right about this definition of atheism, right? We tend to discard bits of language that aren't fucking very useful because, well, they're not useful. And if we're gonna live in an international community where we're trying to explain to ourselves to people who don't speak our language and very well can't speak our language in some situations, we need to cut stupid shit out of the language just to make sure we're able to convey our point, especially since a lot of how humans work is based on comparison. So if I walk up to some motherfucker from the islands of fucking wherever the fuck, and he asks me about my religion, and I say atheist, and he says, atheist, what is atheist? And I go, oh, atheist, like, atheist, right? You get it? Atheist. No, you don't understand? Okay, sorry. Atheist? You get it? Atheist.
Atheist.
This is where we got to discard silly bullshit in the language. You know what I'm saying?
Not only that, but even this bullshit definition of atheism being lack of belief, it's not all that accurate. Agnosticism was someone who was just uncertain about the proposition. An atheist is someone who says, yeah, there's actually good proof that says not only is your assertion not tenable, but there's actual evidence against your assertion. And I think a lot. I'm
going to actually argue with you on that one.
All right.
Because really, when it comes to the term atheist, it's a matter of how one defines oneself. And there are many different ways to interpret the word. So really, at that point, you have to kind of ask, well, when you're saying atheist, which definition are you applying to yourself? under what context, because under the context of somebody who does not have a God belief, I qualify as an atheist. Now, my stance might be agnostic, but technically speaking, if you define it as somebody without someone, mind you, without a God belief, then I qualify. But all that woman needs to do is add, intention, thought, the ability to have an opinion, and her definition's perfectly fine as one potential definition. It's anything.
Oh, yes. I'm technically an atheist, too, when I go to sleep because I lack a belief in God.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's not... You're unconscious.
Yeah, even the Pope's an atheist at times, apparently, on this definition.
Moreover, that...
Inevitably,
the way your head works, the way your mind works insofar as the way it processes information and actually has thoughts, anytime you're not actually actively believing in God at any given moment, you're an atheist. So if you're thinking about pooping and yet you're not believing in God at that moment, so you may as well say you're an atheist then.
Yeah.
See where it all kinds of falls to pieces.
So just hope that if you're religious, hope you never get killed or the rapture doesn't happen while you're sleeping.
Yes, and make sure you're paying attention to how much you believe in God when you die. Otherwise, you'll die an atheist.
Yeah, and you have to keep in mind all of those cells your body's made out of, they're all atheists too, because they're capable of having.
But on the other hand, if you're having sex and saying oh God," then you're focused on God, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay, that was crude.
Hang on, actually, we have a question on the Q&A. Are rocks asexual or asexual? The answer to that is, I don't know. Ask Bionic Dance.
Her face looks like a toilet.
Dude.
I'm sorry. I'm not actually all that feisty tonight.
You're not that feisty.
I'm not that feisty.
Oh, well.
The heat got to you today, I guess.
I tell you what, it burnt me out, so to speak.
Yeah.
That'll happen.
And I was
Where
only
you live
86.
again?
I live in Central Florida, my man. That's
Very
usually what people say, yeah. Central Florida.
One of these days I should send you my little spy pen and just for giggles send you down to Clearwater to hang out by the Scientology building to hang out flyers with a question, have you had your clam audited today?
What? Who's going to audit my what?
What? No, what?
I had to throw my Scientology reference of the day. I'm done.
Scientology reference.
Audit
Gotcha.
my clam.
Have you had your, Operation Clam Bake?
Well, that's part of where Operation Clam Bake got its name, but yeah, one of the things in their auditing process is to audit your past life as a clam.
I tell them, how the hell do you know that my past life is that of a clam? How do you know this ain't my first life?
First of all, learn me something of Scientology. Sorry, I'm very ignorant. What is auditing? That's probably the most basic thing.
When they have you hold on to the can things and pass a very low-level current through your hands, which really depends more on how tightly you grip one can versus the other as to how the needle swings. It's total bullshit.
Wait, are you saying I could be like an ST9 level Scientologist if I just hold it correctly?
ST9?
I don't know the levels. I just mean the highest level.
Operating Satan.
You paid the most, you mean? You paid the most money? Is that what you
pretty
mean?
much, yeah. Yeah, the S on the forehead's for sucker.
Yeah, you're the biggest sucker.
Wait, how do they do it? Do they make you take the quiz first and then they say you're unhappy and then they make you do the Thetan thing? Or can the Thetan thing become first?
The Thetan thing comes later. First, they try to sucker people up by offering them either free stress tests or free personality tests.
Yeah.
And of course, you're going to fail because, it's made to make you fail.
I'll tell you the results of my last personality test. My psychologist said I'm an asshole. So, yeah. Now, diagnosis was free.
You got paperwork proving you're a cunt.
Yeah.
Yep.
Take this bottle of pills and call me in the morning. Thanks.
But yeah, that's their hook to try and lure you in to tell you how fucked up you are. Then you get in there and they claim they can fix it all by making you hold cans and talk about your problems.
We're talking literal cans here, not the good kind, right?
Yeah, grab this woman's boobs.
No, that'd be much more interesting.
Tokyo.
I think we'd all be Scientologists.
No, even then, no.
No. No.
Yeah, that is too much of a price to pay.
But imagine talking about your people going and talking about their problems makes them feel a little better. Wow, this is clearly high technology.
Never heard of this before.
They're nuts.
Why are you sitting there recording it or writing it all down? Excuse me, I don't like that. Don't they? They record it all. It's all like.
Oh, what's funny is when they leak the files on some of these people. Ooh.
Yeah, they have this big vat of blackmail sitting behind them.
Oh, they really do. They really do, especially with the celebrities.
Oh yeah.
Don't they Scientologists have something called the fair game policy?
The fair game policy was canceled in name.
In name, but not in practice, I guess.
Oh yeah, you absolutely still do it. They absolutely still do it.
How's that
But
done?
They're
Anyway?
not allowed to call it fair game anymore.
Well, how does it work?
Basically, the whole point of it is to basically fuck people over. Essentially, if you're a critic of Scientology, they can do whatever the fuck they want to you, is their logic. Easiest way to put it. That they'll do, like, try to sue you into bankruptcy just for fun, because they don't care how much money they spend doing it.
Yeah, because they're rich. At least the
Yeah,
organization is.
Yeah, because they'll sit there and they have these big get-togethers and have all the rich Scientologists and they pump them all for money. And you have the one that does the voice for Lisa Simpson, give them $10 million, and Cruz give them $1 million, and they still give Cruz the Scientologist of the Year award.
Well, wait, Lisa Simpson gives the voice actress gives them $10 million.
Yeah, a couple of years ago.
She's a member. Holy fuck!
Yeah, a lot of people in Hollywood are.
Asian lady.
Well, I would so do my job of working against the organization, but I need a stronger legal team first.
Oh yeah, they're all about. I don't know what the word is, but they sue left, right. This is what I've heard.
Yeah, they know their litigation.
Litigious.
The Scientologists are a lawyer's
Is that the
wet
word?
dream.
Litigious?
Yeah, there's actually a number of legal briefings talking about the legal practices of the Church of Scientology, how they do what they do, and all this other crap. And that came out of a university that teaches law in Texas, actually.
Interesting.
So something good did come out of Texas once.
Don't you guys have some like really nice beer that comes out of Texas? Or
No, we don't.
okay.
It's American beer. There is no such thing as nice American beer.
No, I will argue that.
I
No,
think
no,
local
come on.
local brews actually. There are local American brews that aren't too bad.
Oh man, I try to find the local wherever I go if I travel. It's like the only way to
There
go.
are some decent microbreweries. There are.
Yeah, exactly. Those ones.
Then
Only
again,
thing good that comes out of
came out of
Texas
what
was the
started
next-
off as Sam Adams came out of what started off as a major microbrewery.
When I was in Denmark, they have very small refrigerators. They don't have big refrigerators like we do here in the States and stuff. And so they don't chill their beer, any of their alcohol. And all the local brews there were, well, where I were, the two places I were wheat-based beer. It was actually pretty good. I actually got used to drinking it at room temperature. When I got back, I almost preferred it room temperature.
Yeah, I should change the topic to beer. We might actually get some hits.
Nice.
Nah.
Yeah, fucking.
Not something I really know much about. That was my story. So.
I gotta get this out. I gotta get this out, right? Because this.
Is it about atheist and
No.
that being an atheist and your ceiling being? Oh, you already went there, right?
Yeah, we've done all that. Fucking keep up. Come on.
We already solved that part of the game.
Feisty.
Yeah, we're all in agreement on that topic.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So look, I got the Awesome Crew show happening tomorrow at 2 p.m. Eastern.
He brings it back up.
For viewers.
Y'all motherfuckers better be there for the work I'm putting in for this shit. All right.
Yeah, the four viewers are like, we already watched that shit. Shut the fuck up.
on the show, I have a
We
new.
watched it 2 minutes just to try to get you to stop promoting it.
No, look. At 2 p.m. tomorrow, that's Eastern Standard Time. It's going to be the Awesome Crew show, right? And on the Awesome Crew
That's
show.
what we've heard.
Yeah, that's what we've heard.
You want to suck on it?
I do. I have a segment called the Cunt of the Week. All right.
Right.
Feisty.
Feisty.
This is just me picking someone who I think has been an especially big pain in the ass, and I rant about them for about a minute.
Me, please.
Oh, fuck off, will you? And this week I have a very special cunt in mind. And it's it's just it's gonna
I
be
almost
edgy.
don't want to know. I almost want to back out so I can watch the show tomorrow and find out.
It's gonna be edgy, and I'm just wondering if it's gonna be too edgy. You know what I mean?
Don't be a
you real
wuss.
quick. Are you telling them how do I?
I don't give a fuck if 4 people know who it's going to be.
No, I don't personally want to know. I want to find out tomorrow when I watch the show.
That's it. I don't know if I'm going to do it. I need to know if I need my external conscience.
I'm going to kick out. I'm going to kick Evitable out for a moment so that he doesn't get the spoilers. Hang on.
All right,
I can back out.
He's supposed to object to that. Wait a minute. Come on, man. I'm trying to. That's no fun.
Well, go ahead, Lenny. I really don't care what.
Okay, so it's tomorrow at 2 p.m. Eastern on the Awesome Crew Show. I'm going to be roasting.
But this is live, right? We're showing.
Yeah, I don't give a fuck.
Oh, okay.
I almost don't want to use this analogy, but I'm going to be roasting Nadia's nuts.
It's like an advertisement to pick up the Insomnia Shuffle.
Wait, why are you roasting Nadia?
Shall we give you a list?
Oh, there was that one post I saw where she was asking for help about being evicted or something, and
Was she being evicted?
Well, she's evicted roughly every 2 months and goes around seeing if she can get help. Not too long ago, she apparently had some kind of job offer, and she decided not to take it because she was going to have to deal with people and didn't want to have to do that because she doesn't feel good about the way she looks and sounds.
Isn't it so much better to live off other people's money? You know how hard I goddamn work? I work goddamn hard. You will too. You're gonna love it. No, wait, it fucking sucks.
I guess it's a burden everyone has to bear.
Okay, I just got a notice on the sidebar here that he's running a Hangout. It might be more interesting, this one. You might want to check it out.
No, tell it. I just
I don't care.
Hintity hint hint hint.
Yeah, I don't mind.
No, I just.
Hey, we lost 2. Rock on.
All right.
Oh well, why did you mention it? Why would I just?
That's why I mentioned it. I don't give a shit how many viewers I get.
So that would be my big question. Is it too edgy to I guess roast a hobo?
it all depends if they well and truly brought it on themselves or not. That's what I would go by.
Curiosity.
I want to be a douche. Epi, I'm going to put you on the spot for a moment. Okay?
Okay.
You good with that? You've talked with Nadia. You seem to have a decent enough rapport with her, right?
Mm-hmm.
Here's the question. Do you find some of her conduct in Hangouts to be inappropriate?
Define appropriate.
Should this be live?
Who gives a fucking God's sake? Come on.
Don't care.
Hey, fine.
In terms of the content, no, but there was one time she took her shirt off, and I don't like seeing anyone naked.
I don't like the half naked either. I don't. Honestly, the whole on camera with the bra thing, I find that is something that you could potentially get flagged for. Her taking her not bothering to have the decency to turn off her camera when she goes to take her shots. Granted, they're medical, but she never states as such, and that could potentially get a live Hangout flagged. I find a problem with this.
Well, it's a lack of consideration more than anything else. I mean, think about it. Not everyone wants to see you inject yourself with stuff.
Yeah. Okay.
And
Here's how I
turn the fucking camera off, or say, "Hey, listen, I'm about to go do this. Is everyone okay with it? No. Okay, let me turn my camera off real quick."
No, if you're asking me whether or not I think the effect is warranted, or well, the event is warranted, I'd say yes. But I'm saying, is the event warranted in which it's live and in front of other people to view? That's something I'm not terribly convinced of, considering the fact that it's directed at someone with questionable mental health.
The thing that strikes me though is there have been Hangouts that she's been in with, Hangouts with 70+ viewers, whatever, some of the bigger podcasts, and she'll just take her shot on camera, and you have the theists that are sitting there, the kinds that are there just to vilify atheists, going, look, all the atheists do drugs. See, she's doing drugs. It's like, and you have to sit there and say, no, you fucking do, because she won't. She won't bother to say, oh, I have to take my whatever the hell shot. Excuse me for a moment. It's just and you have these people going, look, all these atheists are doing drugs, and then you can potentially get yourself flagged. And no, it's fucking consideration, man.
Exactly. I think something needs to be done about it, but I'm saying whether it's over a live event and that seems partially convinced with entertainment. That's what I'm kind of questioning.
And that's what I'm asking.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't think it should be a live thing. I think it should be more of an intervention.
Sure.
That's probably a good idea.
Yeah, it is a decent idea, quite frankly, but at the same point, what strikes me is that there are a lot of people that are very much in her camp about certain things. And there's a question that I ask, there are a couple questions I've started asking myself. The first one is, with how often she's sitting there on camera in that skin tone bra, if it was somebody that wasn't in her position, that we'll just say, would I have a problem with this? If this was somebody like, let's say, Lyrical Orion, as a good example, I'd have a shit fit over it.
Yep.
Yet I give her a pass because she's trans? That's me being a hypocrite.
That is.
I mean, let me just read this out over here, okay? Because this is me talking to Nadia about this personally. Because this guy, people have suggested before, hey, why don't you talk to Nadia and see if she, listens to you and alters her behavior. This is me talking to Nadia. All right, I blocked her on Google Plus, and then God forbid there was a Hangout that she couldn't join, and she freaked out because there was a Hangout that she couldn't.
Oh, I heard of this.
Happened to me too.
And she started running around Facebook saying, "Hey, can you go into this Hangout, find out who has me blocked, and find out why they have me blocked?" So I said, "Fuck it." I hit her up on Facebook. The follow transpires. Nadia, I have you blocked. Pray tell why. She says, "You have not done anything to offend me personally, but I find you to be morose, self-defeating, unwilling to help yourself, abusive to other people's kindness and charity. Attention-seeking, i.e., being topless and injecting stuff into your body during live feeds, and you seem to have a habit of changing the topic consistently to LGBT issues, which frankly not everyone gives a fuck about.
I've noticed that.
Also, it's evident that you're not taking care of yourself, i.e., living in your own shit. We all want what's best for you, and we all like you, so it's becoming difficult it'd be difficult for us to sit by and watch you destroy yourself. I'm choosing not to watch." Is there more she responds, "Is there more detail about abusing others' charity and kindness you can offer?" I said, "Yes. The perception is that you have been given money to assist in your living situation, and by design that money should buy you time to find paid work. It has also been said that you have turned down various job opportunities because you don't like the way you look. Considering the amount of time you spend in Hangouts, i.e. most of it, and you now have begun day drinking, I am not satisfied that you are making a sincere effort to find work, and therefore are using other people's money to abuse yourself."
Now, quite some time ago, I actually went on the warpath because somebody made the comment of, "Oh, wonderful, Nadia, I'm glad you finally got help," when she needed to go to the hospital, and myself and a few others helped facilitate her getting there. Well, at that point, I'm sitting there thinking how rude of this person, how obnoxious of this person to sit there and say, "Oh, great, you finally got help," and not try to do something about it. But since then, for the exact same thing, she's been in the hospital like 4 fucking times. There's a point at which you're saying, okay, this isn't an isolated thing, there's something you're doing wrong. Then come to find out she's diabetic, and she's sitting there trying to get people to order pizzas for her. Not good for diabetics. Sits around drinking Mountain Dew all day. Not good for diabetics. And eating ice cream. Not good for diabetics. I mean, we're talking a path of self-destruction here. And then she's wanting sympathy. It's like, no, you have to stop some of these behaviors, damn it.
No, but the path of self-destruction to one side, though, because I do agree that is completely self-destructive behavior. Believe I'm
a diabetic, so for me that irritates me. It's
right?
Like,
no, you and I are on the line with that one, and I get it. But that for me isn't the fucking clincher. She can do whatever the fuck she wants with it to herself. She can live forever or die tomorrow. I do not care.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that she's doing this to herself with other people's money. You know how hard I fucking work for my coin?
You know what? I actually don't share that sympathy with you. If you're going to throw away your money at anything, then sorry, that's what you're throwing your money on. I think people are when
a fool and his money are soon parted. You're saying?
I'm sorry.
Hang on,
a fool and his money are soon parted.
I think if both parties know where the money's going to.
I'm sorry, dude. I gotta cut in for 1 second here. Lenny, are you comfortable with stating this on air?
Well,
Did you tell Ford once with the sending your money thing?
Yeah, go for it, dude. I don't give a shit.
Okay. In one of the discussions we had, Lenny mentioned when she was having a hard time and all this other stuff that he sent her money, and then he found out that somebody else sent significantly more to try and help her, to the tune of about $2,000. And her comment wasn't, "Great, this will help give me some time to find a job," or this and that. It was like, "Oh, great, I can live off this for a while."
She said to me, someone just sent me, she said this to me in private, Hangout, and I don't give a shit how offended she gets that I would say this out loud on there. Someone just sent me $2,000, so I should be good for a while. I should be able to live on this for a while. And my thought was, that money's not for you to fucking live on. It's to buy you time to go find a goddamn job.
Yeah, I'm just... I'm not going to play the devil's advocate right now. I don't think I can, with the information you guys are giving me at the moment.
Epi, I hope it's because there's no way to advocate that, and it's not that you're just worried about me freaking out at you, because A, I'm not.
No, it's not that. Look, I usually like to get all the details, so if I come at you with a bit of a critique on the opposing side or the opposing view, it's just to show me how strong your claim is.
Man, you have no idea how comfortable I am for you to critique me right now, or at all ever. If you want to talk to me, if you say, Owen, you're being out of line, then come say, Owen, you're being out of line. I expect that, and I respect that. But I don't feel like I'm being out of line here.
No, I'm not saying you are. I'm
inviting someone douchey.
Coming from where? I'm sorry?
Just letting you know I'm inviting somebody that's borderline douchey that I may or may not kick.
Okay.
Continue.
I just want you to know, Owen, I'm okay hearing other people's opinions, and frankly, I think you're very justified in where you're coming from, at least from what you're telling me. I could completely understand whatever you decide to do tomorrow. I have reservations about anything live, but again, you make a very strong case. I leave judgment completely into your hands.
I have a question for you, though. Now, mind you, before I say this, I think Zinnia Jones absolutely kicks ass, and I think most everyone in this room would agree that.
Oh yeah, sure. Yeah, I got all the time for Zinnia. Yeah.
Think she's on Free Thought blogs, isn't she?
Oh yeah, she's absolutely great. But Nadia was the first trainee I'd ever met. I might not have so positive a view of them.
If who was?
If Nadia was the first
I see.
I'd ever met, I don't know that I'd have such a good opinion. I'm really glad that my first, real strong exposure to somebody from that viewpoint was somebody like Zinnia, who's absolutely great. And I think that a lot of people give Nadia a pass because she's trans, frankly. If she wasn't trans, how many of these behaviors would we tolerate? I think that's an important question to ask. And I've been asking myself that a bit lately.
Well, the reason why I really want to do this live is because people cheer when get behind me when I do this, when I call bullshit on people who offer a different viewpoint than the community that I run in, right? They're always too happy to see me tear a chunk out of a fucking theist, right? They're always they're leading the charge. Wow, Lenny, you got him on that one. Well done, good job, pat on the back. You know what I'm saying? But that's not fair, and that ain't right. Because I got to call bullshit where I see it, and I see a big old mountain of fucking bullshit here.
As a theist who you have called bullshit on, I thank you for your even-handedness.
Well, that's the plan. Yeah.
Dizor, you've gotten your damn invite. Get your ass in here if you want to.
Wait, who are you inviting?
Dizor.
Oh, you bastard.
Who?
Yeah, if he's too much of a douche, I'll kick him.
Okay.
But I invited him, we'll see.
Gravity hash no gravitas. What the fuck was that about?
And Prudence also requesting an invite.
Oh, Prudent Discourse?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I like Prudent.
I like Prudent too. You know what Prudent's whole issue is? This is the whole thing, top to bottom. Let me tell you right now what's going on.
We've got a lot of things covered tonight. Go ahead.
Prudent Discourse's top to bottom is that he's still a pup. And that's not even a bad thing. The guy is still a fucking pup. That's his whole deal, and it's not a bad thing. It's nothing against him.
Probably, really.
One day he'll stop being a pup. He's a man, he's an adult, but he's a pup. He's got a lot to learn.
And if he comes in here before getting to the pup part of the conversation, then I might kick him. Oh, Prudence, did you hear the pup part of the conversation? Wait a minute.
You got good timing.
Wow. Am I a pup, by the way?
I don't know you well enough. I mean, it depends. I have no idea. I don't know you well enough. I haven't spent nearly the time you have spent with Prudent.
Yeah, fair point.
That's all I spend.
They just summed up everything about you as you're still a pup. That's perfectly fine.
What up, guys?
Hey.
Calamari.
Hey, by the way, what happened to your promo videos on YouTube?
Don't make them anymore.
Prudent?
What?
I was asking what happened to your promotion videos on YouTube. You know, usually you have a promo video before.
Yeah, I delete. Once the event is done, I just delete them.
Oh, man. I actually really like your promos, so I'm kind of disappointed.
Oh, is it because I always put AC/DC on it?
Oh, because, yeah, I was going to ask, because you have Klingshot coming on during the next one, can I suggest some kind of Arabic music?
Nah, I don't know. It's just, well, that'd be cool, but
what if I get
make an exception at one time, but I'm still liking the AC/DC thing I have going.
What if I have an AC/DC cover in Arabic instruments?
That'd be cool. Long story short, though, I still have to get a couple things done. I'm still waiting on Klingshore to confirm the time. He still has yet to respond to me, but it'll still go through.
You hope.
Yeah, it will. Klingshore said he would show up. He should have put it on his schedule. This will happen.
Well, make sure to remind him without nagging him because we don't want you to be like Neo.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine.
Oh, 12. Wait, Lenny, 12.
Well, it's important to remember that whatever the fuck Prudent's talking about is not nearly as important as the Awesome Crew show, which is going to be happening tomorrow at 2 p.m. Eastern. Not to be missed.
You need to be less subtle about that, just to make sure you get the point.
Okay, Lenny, I'm willing to make a bet here.
Yeah.
I'll bet you in 1 year my show will be more popular than yours.
You know what, Prudent? You know what, buddy?
I'm kidding.
No, it's okay. No, it's fine. This is what I'm talking about.
This is what I'm talking about.
Here. I'll be like that.
Yay!
Oh, they're so cute.
Hey, it's Doug.
Hello, everybody.
Hi.
Okay, we have another comment here. It's not simply the trans, it's also with a dead husband with AIDS and all the other miserable stuff makes you feel like a douche for adding any amount of trouble at all. This, of course, is regarding the Nadia thing. Yeah, I kind of have to agree. I mean, she's like building this eternal pity party to just try and get empathy out of people so people will feel bad for her. There's got to be a better way to live than that.
Yeah. You know, I appreciate maybe she's got some kind of massive depression thing where she feels like there's nothing but the darkness all around, or she can't feel properly, or she's got this whole thing happening. I understand that people experience those emotions or non-emotions of the situation, maybe. However, life ain't gonna happen if you don't grow a little bit of fight back. Shit's gonna go down. Everything's gonna go wrong. Sometimes it's gonna happen all at once, and all that matters is what you do about it. You have to fight back, and I don't see any fight back in this girl. None at all.
Yeah, she's a bit. I like Nadia, but she can be just like depressed to the point of like I have to leave the hangout at some point. Just like really.
Oh, there was one Insomnia Shuffle I ran, and we were all having a grand old time, and we're cracking jokes and all this other stuff. And Nadia goes, "I have a joke." I'm like, "Okay, great." Well, by the end of it, we're all sitting there going, you know, ready to slit your wrist because it's so fucking depressing. I'm like, wow.
What was the joke?
I don't even fucking remember what it was supposed to be, but I just remember at the end of it, everyone was like,
well,
that sucked.
Just wanted to kill himself at the end. Bad joke.
I just want to say one thing. When you said empathy earlier, that's actually a term that's misapplied every now and then. I think sympathy and empathy are two different things. Sympathy means that you haven't actually experienced, like you don't understand like someone's miserable experience. Whereas if you feel empathy, you realize like, oh, I've been there before. I know how you feel. It's a tough place to be.
The other way around.
She might be trying to get both, but usually if you haven't been like through like a welfare state, like she's hoping that you feel sympathy, but eventually sympathy kind of runs out when.
Well, no. When the sympathy's bordering on guilt-ridden.
Yeah.
On some degree, then she's just playing off a person's natural empathy of I feel so bad for this person. Oh, you know, it's like trying to pull on the heartstrings. So yeah, fuck off.
And multiply that by trans. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Apparently, Campbell's Soup is the one true soup. What the fuck am I reading?
Oh, God.
Reading Campbell's Soup is the one true soup.
Is
free advertisement.
Still stuck with that? Yeah, I'm kind of getting sick of it all of a sudden.
I've been sick of it since I first heard it, but it's not going to stop it from happening.
No, I think it's kind of going to be the focus of the show tomorrow, so tune in.
Well, I've always been saying this is still a concept I'm trying to get applied. Lenatar, do you know any professional presuppositionalist apologists?
Oh, dude.
That's terms and oxymoron. None of those characters are professional, I figure.
That's all. No, come on, guys. That's a funny term. You know it. Presuppositionalists.
I get it.
Wait. Sorry, prudent. The viewer count says otherwise. You said that. We had 4 people leave and come back hoping the conversation was over.
You know what they say, that the argument is that anything that begins to exist has a sauce. All right. Now,
you could make that case for humans, but
yeah, but
every other animal.
The flying spaghetti monster actually began to exist, so I can't accept that notion.
Well, unless if the proof that the soup exists is that without it you can't know anything.
yeah, and it's revealed to us in such a way that we know it can be true. It's on the label in the tin.
Exactly.
Exactly. Without the label in the tin, you don't know truth.
The problem with internet connections is that you can't actively throw something at a person when they say something stupid.
You can't flip them off.
You know, breaking your monitor.
Oh, David, my man.
Ah, you're supposed to invite him after you ask, Sty. I'll give you slack this time.
Only because it was David.
That's in here.
See, this is looking like we've got a nice insomnia shuffle happening right now.
Exactly.
Look at that.
Well, I don't have work tomorrow, so I don't care. I got the day off.
Ooh. I have a class at 9, so 6 hours, yay.
I think this might be
I slept today, so I'll be fine for it.
Yeah, what a bet.
I think this is Reynolds' first time joining for an insomnia, actually. Wait, were you the guy that kept asking to join the last time?
Hell if I know.
I don't know. Last time I ran one of this, had somebody like, "Can I join? Can I join?" And I checked to look at their page, and I saw like 8 different hangouts that they were like, "Can I join?" I'm like, "Yeah." Not you, I'm guessing. Okay.
This is the only one I've actually joined, I think, myself.
It may actually be me, I don't know, but I've never done it more than 3 times, not 8.
I love the insomnia shuffles, man. I absolutely love these insomnia shuffles.
Oh, yeah, because we don't have the usual stupidity. We have different stupidity.
You gotta mix up your stupid.
Some of the topics are pretty laid back.
Can't always be stupid the same way. And I mean, look, we can even get like people that are theists in the room and not feel like we need to attack them constantly. Yeah. Granted, I don't know. I have this weird thing. I tend to not count Epicurus in that number.
You also see the thing with chipmunks.
I lack
because you're willing to talk about other things.
Yeah, it's almost like there are other things to talk about.
Yeah, now you tell me.
Yeah.
Well, maybe now my coworkers will be able to stop telling me to shut up all the fucking time. Then again, maybe not.
This is what I do instead of having sex.
Who said I'm not having sex right now? What are you talking about?
Yeah. This whole time, I've just been getting blown off camera.
Oh.
Stop it, you.
In actuality, one of his hands is sitting there going, "I was getting raw. Thank you for stopping."
He has to put the air hose away now.
Well, actually, the feeling started to come back. I have to sit on it again to get it numb.
Oh.
See, look, Epi knows what the stranger is. He knows what's good.
What's your opinion on FCC and net? I'm assuming you mean net neutrality. I think
here we go.
FCC needs to go fuck themselves. Net neutrality is all important. It is the one true neutrality.
Not for long.
Unfortunately. It's kind of like a video game. They keep trying to nerf it.
Is it a real thing? What is it? I've heard about it.
Yeah, they keep trying to put through varied laws to try and fuck up things more and more on the net. I think the current one that they're trying to do is, I think they're trying to still do the shit that ISPs can basically say, well, I like this site, but I don't like this site, so this one gets lots of bandwidth and this one gets none.
Yeah, you have to pay
that's going through Congress right now. That's happening right now.
I already have the Israeli military monitoring my calls. I don't need this.
Oh, sweet.
The idea is that you'll pay more to get bandwidth on sites that you frequently visit, like your Facebook, your YouTube, your Netflix. You have to pay more to get bandwidth to use those websites.
It's basically it's throttling the internet. Basically, and that's what they're doing. They're trying to throttle it.
I thought that it was that the sites were going to have to pay more to.
And they'll pass those expenses on to you.
Yay!
Well, it's for like well, the thing is the ISPs were saying that if the likes of Netflix who are using heavy traffic want to continue to get the best bandwidth for their consumers, customers, whatever, then the ISP should say, listen, we cough up some more money, basically, for our providing you bandwidth. That's the main issue, and people are like, well, that's going to throttle the internet, which in retrospect it would, but I think the ISPs are getting a hard time getting bashed with all this broadband at the moment, usage. So in a way I can see it's fair, but at the same time, yeah, it's definitely going to be the consumer that gets it in the end.
I mean, really, basically, what happens is you end up with these basically mega corporations that have, a massive presence in terms of providership, and they really get the say as to, who gets the bandwidth and who doesn't. They can basically say, well, we've worked out a great deal with this one company, and since you're competing with them, you're fucked.
Yeah, basically.
And that's the fucking problem. It's absolute fucking bullshit.
You'll basically have like Google buying ISP company. Sorry, go on.
Oh, sorry. I was just being a smart ass.
Oh, well, what were you saying then? We need to hear this smart ass comment. Come on.
Just saying. Imagine if some religious right company like Chick-fil-A were to take over the net.
Well, that's the scary prospect. You could get like Google buying ISPs and then sign up with us, and you're not going to get anything else apart from what Google want to show you. It's like an intranet, really. But
I don't know. I think I'm less worried about fundies trying to take over the internet than I am with Google.
Yeah, I could see them pulling their resources together and doing that shit easily.
But isn't Google already doing something like that with those high altitude balloons where they have Wi-Fi?
When it comes to money,
so they're actually trying to put in their own infrastructure.
What would? Yeah, but here's the thing: as soon as the religious right takes over the internet, there would be no more internet because they would take down the porn. And if they took down the porn, there would only be one website, and it would be called bringbacktheporn.com.
Where is the porn.com? Well, without porn or some shit.
To bring back the porn.
If they took away the porn, there'd be riots in the streets. People would storm. People would storm the internet buildings.
Get rid of the porn. They'd put in laws to try and regulate the porn, but not really get rid of it. They would just kind of hide it where only the Republicans and GOP can find it.
Oh, they do public humiliation where you had to sign in through your, your identified account, so you were identified, and every time you did it, everybody on your Facebook list got a post saying you just visited the site.
They're trying to do that. They want people to register only on their real names of places like Google.
See,
and whatnot.
that's more what I'm worried about. It's
anonymity.
Right? Anonymity.
Okay. I'm going to have to cut in for one moment.
That's
Hey,
the most
Prudent.
important.
Hang on. Prudent. You there? Prudent, of course.
Poke, poke, nudge, nudge.
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. You've actually been pretty good in here today. Go ahead. Plug your show.
Nah, I'd rather not.
Really?
Really, I'll do it then.
I'm
Guys,
getting your
come on
question here, man. Go for it.
There.
Okay, fine. I can list a few of the next guests coming up. Around the month of June, it's going to be a lot of Theist guests, so I'm kind of excited to see how that's going to go.
No. I didn't mean to get in a long monologue about it. I'm saying, date, time, when to tune in.
Yeah, keep it short. Bandwidth is, costs a lot of money.
Oh, yeah.
It's going to be a late night show for the Cling Shore one on Friday. We'll see how that goes. And so, to be fair, just in case if Klingshore has to reschedule, I sent him.
I don't think you know what plug means.
Day, time, tune in, blah 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 blah, such and such show.
If I were to say something
with special guest Klingshore, topic Islam in the 21st century. There.
That was Friday at 11. You said.
Friday at 11 p.m. Eastern Time.
Thank you. There we go. That's a proper plug.
That's the kind of thing you want. You got to keep it short, baby. Something like, hey, tune in tomorrow for the Awesome Crew show. That's 2 p.m. Eastern.
There you go. We'll do it fast. You can get something in at the end.
Man, I think everyone's going to start a show now.
So we're all watching each other's own show, and we have.
I
no
wouldn't dare do such a thing.
Speaking of which, I might bring back my show from now that my ding will be gone. But who knows?
Yeah, you used to have like a real channel.
The Theorem, yeah, I did it a year ago. I was doing it. Then I got dinged. So, but in June or something like that, I think my ding is up.
Hi, Steve. I mean, this is the kind of thing. You sit there, you spend your time, you try to, for the people that try to do shows or work with shows or whatever, you try to get your guests lined up, and then you schedule it, and yada yada yada, and you get all this shit going on, and after a while, you're just like, why am I wasting my time on this shit?
That's not gonna be me. I'm gonna at least try to go to at least 50.
Nope, never say that's not gonna be me, because the moment you say that, it's gonna be you.
Yeah. Well, I found what happened with me is this was at the height of the Rand Campbell and at his best, at his height before he quit a long time ago, and then it was him and Stiggy and Bob and all these guys, and I just gave up. I was sitting there in the last hangout I did, and I was just like, wow, this is ridiculous. I think I'm the youngest one here, and I think I'm the most mature. Like, what's going on? Fuck is going on? Like, I thought I was out of the... I hate playgrounds. I don't like children. There's a reason why. And
children.
Where I am, in a room full of children. That's how I felt. I was like, this is fucking stupid. So, I just gave up. It's like, ridiculous. Anyway, sorry.
Back to FCC, we've gotten another comment. The cable industry owns FCC, basically, and Obama appointed current chairman. Yeah, every president who appoints the current chairmans of shit. Not compelling.
Nope. What does he say about it? What does the comment say about his birth certificate?
It doesn't.
Sorry.
Yeah,
Please no.
The Bush administration tried for years to fuck things over. Now the Obama administration is trying to fuck things over. Or at least they're blaming the administration. The simple fact of the matter is it's Congress. Congress has been trying to fuck shit up for years. Why? Because you're offering me how much to do what? Oh, campaign.
Yeah, they take bribes, exactly.
Well, you know,
it's legal. It's legal. What do they call it in the United
bribery.
States? Yeah, fundraising or some shit.
Yeah. Bribery, fundraising, same difference.
As a British prophet and philosopher once said, meet the new boss. Oh, he's the same as the old boss.
Yeah.
Oh, prophecy. There you go.
Back to the porn thing, the English tried to do the whole porn thing, actually. It was, but it was kind of funny because it got kind of a spin. It was actually against child pornography, and then somehow the debate went to, like, just adult porn, and they were saying, like, you know, they're going to make ISPs do the exact same thing someone mentioned before, like, you've got to sign up to access porn on your computer and stuff, and I was like, what the fuck is going on there? No one would do that stupid shit.
That didn't sound too bad. I mean, it's like, hi, cable company, I want some porn. Okay.
I mean, they were saying like they should offer packages where like the ISP will block literally porn access to the internet to make sure that you. And they were saying well,
there's something important about the porn thing on the internet though that nobody ever seems to bring up. If you have your dick in your hand, you're not holding a gun.
That's a fact.
Yeah. You have two hands.
Yeah, exactly. Well, it's not like you're going to be sitting on your computer with
personally
like this.
Personally, I only enjoy masturbating when I've got a gun in my mouth. It's edgy and it's exciting. But on
this is live.
Yeah, absolutely. On the subject of
watch list,
signing up to get porn. I mean, I don't see it as you're just basically telling whoever at the cable company, hey, you know what I'm doing this afternoon? Having an awesome time. Why is this a big deal? Who cares?
Exactly.
Yeah.
But the point was, what they tried to say is most of the stuff that's on the internet is legal anyway. They were saying the whole child porn thing, that is not. They called it like the black web or what, some other side of the internet like fucking IRC chats things. Mm-hmm. They were saying that wouldn't even be affected anyway. So what would be the fucking point?
I suppose now since everyone's registered, the cable company would probably have an easier time keeping track of their customers.
I mean, I guess. I mean, child porn's kind of a niche market. Let's be honest. Like, you know what I mean? It's not.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So
everyone's looking at that shit.
Why punish the people who just watch porn when the vast majority of people who watch porn don't watch anything, fucked up like that?
Yeah, the vast majority of people would be disgusted to see something like that. Like, you know what I mean?
That's
like, it's actively repulsive.
Yeah.
And if we even found anyone who even watched the stuff, we'd want to punch them in the face.
Yeah.
Probably want to do more than that, but you
know. We kind of have a question for Rictus, if you care to bother with it.
Bother away, bother.
If you don't care to bother with it, I can clear it. But somebody wants to know if you're a Bond villain.
What? Sorry?
Somebody wants to know if you're a Bond villain. They're saying that using goggles and maybe steampunk clothing would be cool, but that makes you sound more like an anime villain, but I don't know.
Bond villain? No.
I think it's the beard.
I don't see it either.
Here, I'll put the hat on. Here, now I'm a Bond villain.
No, you look more like a relative of Indiana Jones. Kind of, I don't know.
Oh, yeah. He's a multi-billionaire, so I'll take that. Well, Harrison Ford is, so I'll take that.
He's also married to what's left of Calista Flockhart.
What's left?
God.
Oh. Stuff that hasn't been replaced.
Remember when people cared about her? Yeah, me neither.
Oh boy.
What was the name of that show she was on? It was a lawyer show, wasn't it?
Ally McFucking-Beal.
Oh, okay, with Lucy Liu and
Lucy Liu. Robert Downey Jr. got a start on there. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Are you Robert Downey? Yeah. Really?
Yes, I am.
Okay, Owen, we have a question for you coming up here.
Oh God. Oh, I'm a little upset.
Open the Q&A if you'd like.
Why do I do that?
Click Q&A on the left. Come on, it ain't that hard.
Fucking tell me what to do.
How do I do that?
Exactly.
Don't give me orders.
Oh man.
Want to ask a question? Is this?
Oh, should be at the top there. Currently answering.
Okay, currently, want to ask a question. My 21st birthday is in 3 days. I want to get my first kiss, and maybe make a move a girl at the dance club. What should I do? Any advice? Why? Why on earth would you think that's directed to me? For fuck's sake.
Because you could give them the advice of how to try and sound Irish, because it apparently works.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, I want to get my first kiss. Look, man, if you know what I mean, when it comes to women and dealing with people that you're sexually interested in, right? If first of all, if you're 21 and you haven't kissed anybody yet, questions need to be asked. But let's leave that aside just for one second moment. All right.
I am so fucked.
Or not.
I was 18 the first time, so
that's okay. It's not weird. It's not weird.
Yeah, it's all good.
I am so fucked.
You are so.
Wait, you want to get your first kiss where?
Yeah, he's got that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. My philosophy when talking to people who you're not just even women who when you're talking to somebody you can become very uncomfortable. When talking to anybody you're uncomfortable with, the trick is when it comes to confidence, just fake it. Act like you do have confidence, and then the confidence will come after that directly.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Just bullshit your way through you.
It's actually good advice.
Yeah.
Or just don't give a shit and tell the truth.
Yeah, walking up to a girl and saying I don't give a shit is probably hello, I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
No, I'm saying
that gets the pennies right off.
No, I'm just saying, like, if you like somebody, just make your intentions clear, and then you can either say fuck off, or you get laid once.
Yeah, no, you don't even do that. I mean, if you say, hey, I'm interested in you, or I'm not interested, if you say your intentions right then and there, as soon as you meet, they're going to think of you as pretty weird. You just want to get to know them as a person first, and then when they feel comfortable enough with you, then you can kind of know when's the right move to make.
Pick a place, look up, sit there, look around. You'll find someone there that is sitting there looking around, scanning the room. When you find the person that is scanning the room, that is female or male or whatever kind of dance club you're going to, that's the person you approach and you say, "Excuse me, would you like to dance?"
Can I buy you a drink?
Yes or no, and if they say no, move on, find another target.
Well, that make sure you're not in a doctor's office when that happens.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Exactly.
Asking someone to dance in a doctor's office would just be weird. Look, it's a very simple formula. Eye contact, smile.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Context.
It's self-selecting. You gotta,
Mm-hmm.
There is no pattern. You have to go with the moment.
Yeah, absolutely.
Go with the flow.
Good open body gestures like don't fold your arms, don't clam up, don't look uncomfortable, don't try and stare her down. Like, hi, my name is. Can I buy you a drink? Bang, you're already having sex. Go have fun.
Wow.
He
only asked for a kiss.
Wow. Don't go to a dance club.
He only asked for a kiss, and you're giving him the whole thing. It's like
I'm telling you what.
He left out a few steps in between, I think.
Yeah.
How lucky are you, man?
Well, not all of us have Irish accents, so we got to keep that in mind too.
I've said this many times. This has never gotten me laid. Not once.
Not
one time. Never will.
Well, back when I was younger, this did, so I can't comment too well.
Oh, reminiscent now, Ollie.
I usually ask people. I've got in the question we've got. I usually ask people, "What is your intention?" and they think I'm weird. I don't listen. If you're gonna ask a question like that, expect an honest answer. What is your intention? Listen, I just kind of want to burn the brakes off you. That's kind of what's going down right now.
Okay, so say you want to burn
what is your intention is kind of an unusual question, though. It really is. You know, if I walked up to somebody, what is your intention? I think my answer would be to offer to buy you a drink, maybe a little bit of dialogue, and if you're interesting, I might ask you for your number later.
Yeah,
that's it.
But beyond that, not much. And that's the thing is, you shouldn't have unrealistic expectations. If you go there that I'm going to get fucked tonight, you're going to fail.
Oh yeah.
You're gonna never leave your house.
Basically, yeah. And that's the thing.
I can't even take that attitude with my wife.
Go right here.
Also, make yourself unavailable whenever you can. Apparently, I've gotten more girls interested in me now that they know I'm not interested in dating, which is kind of
that's a very, very important point, actually. I don't know. I'm sure other guys noticed this. When you were, say, in middle school, high school, it seemed like the girls that you liked the guys that were assholes, perhaps in some way or shape or form. Anybody notice these patterns? Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Sometimes, not all the time.
It depends on the girl. It's not just every time, of course. But anyway, I was going to say sometimes what works is actually doing what you just said. Is almost ignore them, so to speak.
No, but
especially not ignore, but make yourself unavailable is what you were saying.
Yeah. Basically, I don't date because a lot of schoolwork gets in the way, and I don't like. And I have a kind of a fast track plan. Not to mention, I don't do any quick one-nighters, or I don't do anything outside of a long-term relationship.
So,
well, there are some women that want that, though.
No sex before marriage, kids. That's what I do.
Oh, okay. True that.
Oh, dude, no. Try it before you buy it, man.
Dude, I'm telling you what's happening. You're looking up right now.
Hey, you're only going to get better.
No. Try it before you buy it because it might suck to begin with. I'm sorry, man, but...
I dated a girl in high school that had that, and she had a pact with two of her best friends, and we dated for like 2 years, and come to find out after their 18th birthday, graduation and all this, come to find out she found out that they had both, broken this pact, but she had not, and so there was all kinds of, I know you're probably not under any other kind of social pressures, the pacts of your friends, but this is a choice that you've made. But I don't know. We broke up. She did her own thing. I have no idea if she ever decided to have sex or not. But I do know she was against drinking and other things like this. But she did end up trying that, before she was 21 or whatever. And I know that opened her mind up to almost like into a good conversation can open her mind. Having experience.
Happy, stop fucking with your mic, Bubba.
Hey, I can't masturbate, so I need something to play with in my hand.
Okay, that's too much.
Okay, oh, come on,
give that kid a banana.
Okay, it's like too much.
I'll just do this now, just so everyone's aware.
I don't know if assholeness is mistaken for masculinity. Like, being masculine is kind of this term that I think each man just defines his own masculinity. I don't think there's one word for masculinity. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Like the word masculine.
I think the best thing you can do is be comfortable with who you are. If you got that down, then you're pretty much set.
Yeah.
I know I've had more success in dating the girls, less success in dating the girls I liked, and more success in the ones that that were truly interested in me, like in things that I could do.
That's because it's not forced, right? That's the pre like what you assume to be the case when you find out. I totally agree with what you just said. That's never been the case for me. Like, I've dated girls that I've liked, and it's never worked out the way I envisaged it to. But then, you know, I just get talking to someone, and then that lasted longer than you know than the one that I'd liked.
I mean, I couldn't imagine. Sorry, I agree. Yeah.
Also, learn to read those signals. All the PSA for all the boys and girls out there: learn to read the signals that the partner you're trying to interact with is giving you, right? I've seen too many guys do this in the past, where they go sit next to the girl at the bar, and she's looking at her phone, looking at Facebook while you're trying to talk to her. Fuck off is what she's communicating to you. Go find someone else to talk to. She's just not interested. Get on with your goddamn life.
Body language is very powerful.
That's a fact.
Say you actually need to be like rejected and shit a few times just to kind of realize that reality is just that.
And realize that your partner, your potential partner, is going to make their intentions clear. If you're at the bar and she wants to talk to you, she will talk to you. If she's interested in you, she's going to flirt with you. She's going to let you know what she wants and what she's comfortable with. Just learn to pay attention to the signals.
And don't rush.
And don't rush. You take your time. Be a gentleman. Put the tip in. See how it feels.
Also, don't go to a bar alone. Always bring at least one friend, because going to a bar alone is not as... you're more likely to succeed with other people, is what I'm saying.
You need a wingman, is what you're saying.
Not even a wingman. Just I find I'm better, at least when I'm with groups of people. That way I kind of intermingle
Well,
other
going to the bar is a social thing, and generally people do go with their friends, or at least to go to meet somebody there, perhaps, or this or that.
Exactly.
No, I'm telling you what's happening.
It's comfortability amongst fellow.
It's also a good networking tool as well to introduce yourself to other people who your friend might know, you might know. It's always good for that way of like networking as well.
Exactly. Also, pick up the Barney Stinson playbook. Nah. No, don't. It's a show, people.
Yeah.
I love.
I'm sorry?
How I Met Your Mother. Loved that.
Oh, yeah, I really hated how the finale went, though.
Oh, I know. I was just like, when I saw that, I was like, okay, you know what? That is 9 years just right down the drain how they ended that. You don't, how do I put it this way? When you build up how awesome the mother is supposed to be for 9 seasons, and then you say, oh, well, it was never about the mother anyway, that pisses a lot of people off.
Yeah, now there are two groups fighting over this. Team French Horn and Team Blue Trumpet or Trombone and Team Yellow Umbrella.
No, it was a French horn. It was a French horn.
Oh right, Blue French horn.
You would have to understand what Epi and I are saying. You would have had to have seen the show and the whole show, How I Met Your Mother, which again loved that show to death. And you know what? I still love it even after the god awful finale. But whatever. But you know what? I've actually worked my way around this. What I do is I just omit that last part from the finale. I just simply say, no, the part where he meets the mother, and then in my mind, that's where it ends, at least to me. So I just simply live in my own ignorance, where I say, no, that last part, like the very last 2 minutes of the finale, doesn't exist to me.
I just really hate what they did to Barney. It's like, hey, we're making him a better character. Oh no, we're not.
That is exactly. Character development is everything, and again, 9 seasons of character development. Down the fucking drain.
Exactly.
What the hell did they do at the end of the show to piss everyone off so much?
Oh, they killed off the mom, and they put the main character with the on and off again love interest.
Yeah.
Oh, so...
Killing off the mother was the part that really just pissed me off. I was... How do you...
and honestly, Ted and Robin were worse than Ross and Rachel.
Well, the problem is this, though. Okay, I've actually thought this over a lot. There's 3 reasons why it will not work with Robin. Okay.
I'm sorry. Do you ladies need your own hangout to go over this properly?
Probably, but I'm just gonna say something. Okay. There are 3 reasons why it will not work. Number 1, the fact that you go after a widower. That's kind of fucking insane. That's kind of a weird place to go. Reason number 2 why it won't work is because, quite frankly, how could Robin live up to the mother? I mean, she was basically Ted's perfect woman. You cannot.
Can we talk about
and the 3rd reason is the most important reason.
But no one cares about it.
Let him finish off. Come on.
3rd reason is the most important one. The characters are now in their 50s. Sex isn't that good at that point.
What?
Let's not comment on how.
Wait. Hang on. What?
You opened a can of worms, bro.
I don't even know what you're talking about.
Wait. Let the boy explain. Let the pup explain himself. Let's hear.
Oh, please, by all means. I want to know all about my love life.
Well, the characters, like, it shows them in the 30s, and then like later in the show, now it goes like 25 years into the future. Now they're in their 50s. So my whole point is, okay, when you're at that point, like in your early 30s, from what I've read, that's pretty much at the time when, intimacy is very good. Now you take it to their 50s, where it just goes nothing but downhill from there.
I'm fucked.
What? I'm already. I was gonna say I'm fucked, but you 30. Shit.
Fuck off! I'm not gonna. Oh, for God's sake!
I'm gonna be arrogant.
Wow. I'm enjoying this.
Hang on.
Actually, one of my friends is getting married at 50.
Hang on. I'm gonna be a completely arrogant twat here for a moment, because I'll let you know as somebody that's heading towards the mid 40s. There's a lot more intimacy in my relationship now than there's ever been in the past. There's a little bit less sex, but there's a hell of a lot more intimacy. You need to learn the difference, boy.
13, do me a favor, okay? You get Red in here right now and you satisfy that woman live on the show right now.
I did that earlier already.
That's this show. That's not
actually out. Hang on, I was in a hangout and I started a little bit of trouble. Then I realized that the mic was still on and had to run out here and turn the fucking thing off.
Attaboy.
He was making a little bit too much noise. I'm like, oh shit, they might hear that. I don't know if they heard a thing or not, but I'm like,
the intimacy dies after 50. Listen to this fucking kid. Come on. 19 years old, trying to tell us. Come on now.
Oh.
I'm 29. I haven't got the balls to say that out loud.
Jesus Christ, I'm old. Oh well.
See
you guys.
What is Epicurus's main reason for his belief? Yeah, don't give a fuck right now.
Yeah, we're not doing that.
Good.
He left, so we can't answer that.
No, I appreciate that. If that's an honest question, you want to know, but that's just not what we're doing right now.
Yeah, we talk about that shit way too much. Now we're just ragging on people in general.
Yeah, if you want to see stuff like that, join the Awesome Crew show tomorrow at 12 p.m. Okay, I'm done. 2 p.m. Eastern.
2 p.m. Eastern.
No, I should kick you for that. We're at 13 viewers, not 12.
Oh, shit.
Ooh. And My Little Pony commented, because apparently they're a little upset that we were critiquing Nadia earlier.
See, this is what I'm talking about.
You're trying to make enemies. Ooh. Yeah, whatever. Don't give a fuck.
I'm not trying to make enemies. I'm trying to call bullshit as I see it. Which is
you idiot! But she's shooting up illegal drugs. Yeah, there are plenty of people in the audience that may not know her that might flag you for it. Duh, get the point, retard.
That, as I think we kind of beat the shit out of this one by saying it doesn't matter if it's legal or illegal. It's a lack of fucking consideration.
Yeah. I'm diabetic. I don't go grabbing my needles and shoot up on air.
Yeah.
Now, granted, shooting up's kind of the joke of the matter, but still, I'm not going to sit there and say, "Hi, excuse me." No.
She needs to take it or she'll die. I need to shit or I'll die. You don't see me bringing the fucking laptop in the fucking crapper. Sit down and take care of my business.
Well, even if why everyone just complains about shit? I mean, fucking hell, I've been in hangouts with Nadia before. I like the person, but yes, she can be fucking depressing. But, you know, that's a personal opinion that you can't change. It's a fucking opinion. If you don't like it, then I'm sorry. Get in line.
Yeah. And, I mean, this is the thing, is that I've given her conditions at times to join Hangouts, and she's complained about it. It's like, I'm sorry, but I want you to wear a shirt. And she did at one point, and I'm like, fine, come in. But at the same point, most of the Hangouts I run these days, when I'm not running the game-related ones, are insomnia shuffles. You have a bunch of people that can't sleep. They're up way the frick too long, and I don't want them getting depressed. The middle of the night is not, especially if you're alone and bored enough to be watching this bullshit, I don't want you getting depressed. No! This is not a good recipe.
You know what gives me inspiration? Something that really does inspire me back in my previous career path. You know what I mean? I was dealing with people who weren't interested in helping themselves. And other times I dealt with people who said they wanted to help themselves but didn't, and there were people who were honest with me and said, "Hey, listen, I'm kind of happy with my life the way it is right now, and I don't feel like changing it." And I'm like, "Well, legally, you have to change it, so stop being a dick." But there was on one occasion where it There was this girl. She was, she was 14, 15 years old. She came from a good family, lived in a good part of town, went to a good school. Her dad worked for fucking Lockheed Martin, which is like money, money, money. And I said, "Girl, what the fuck are you doing in here?" And she gave me a whole line of excuses, unhappy, da-da-da-da-da, parents don't do this, my school does that, my boyfriend says I should do this, and I got assaulted once, and I'm pretty sure I got sexually assaulted, but da-da-da-da. And I said, okay, all the bad stuff has happened to you, I get it. You let me know when you're ready to work, okay? Because when you're ready to work, we're going to start making your life better. And she said, and she just kept going. I can't. I think a month later, maybe 5-6 weeks later, she's back in my office. She sits down and she looks at me right in the eye and she says, "I'm ready to work now."
Exactly. You can't. I mean, if you can't have a self-defeatist thing. What's the point in complaining about shit?
That's what I'm saying. And you know what? That was in 2000 and Jesus Christ, when was that? That was in late 2012. And I tell you what, that girl's gone nothing but from strength to strength. She's killing it. She's really making it go. Like, college is coming up, and she looks great. She's a shoo-in for a school, and I really hope she gets it because she's earned it. And but it all started the moment she looked at me and said, "I'm ready to work now." Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And Nadia's not working.
Yeah.
Well, that's what we were saying before, weren't we? About go on, sorry, dude.
It's one of the basic things. If you feel like shit, you gotta work to get out of feeling like shit.
It's a life can be a fight.
I know.
And you can't put, and it's like, I don't know how to put this. Life is like a fucking opponent who you can't punch back, and the game isn't how hard you punch a person. It's how many times you can get hit and keep standing. It's about withstanding life sometimes. You know what I'm saying? And enduring and getting through it and pushing to get through it.
For the vast majority of us on this globe, that's what it is.
Exactly.
Yeah, but it doesn't mean that we don't appreciate other people getting punched in the face by life. That's where the whole sympathy comes in. We can understand where some people come from, but
yeah,
to be
you got to be there to be a shoulder to cry on and say, okay. Yeah, and sometimes people just need, hey, listen, fuck, that's a tough break. Sometimes it's all the people need to get up and keep going. But when that's all they're getting, and they're getting financial support to feel sorry for themselves and to continue to destroy themselves on camera and being a cunt while they do it, I'm sorry, we're done.
Yeah.
There's a.
I actually, hang on. I gotta cut in for one moment. Amaria, where's your accent from?
The Netherlands.
The Netherlands?
Yes.
Can you do me a favor? This is part of a project for my wife for one of her friends. Can you say howdy, y'all?
Howdy, y'all.
Thank you.
You have that recorded now.
Yep.
This is my Dutch buddy.
Yeah, she's trying to get a bunch of different people saying howdy y'all for a friend of hers, just as part of some weird gag video she's putting together for a friend. I don't know the details.
I could say howdy y'all in an Arabic accent if you need me to.
You can?
Yep.
Go for it.
Okay, just give me a minute.
It's a moment to prep.
Alright. Howdy y'all.
What?
Howdy y'all. Very good.
Howdy y'all.
Okay.
It's actually
sounds
Arabic.
Anyway.
I was trying to imitate my dad. So that's pretty much the best I can.
Get Abby in here at some point to get him to do it.
Who?
Well, it reminds me of Peter Sellers from The Party. Howdy, partner. Howdy, partner. When he was.
All right. Howdy, partner.
Yes, you don't. Peter Sellers right now. Peter Sellers is probably one of the best actors who ever lived.
Oh, he kicked fucking bum, man.
He was the man. This guy got he hated himself so much.
Well, he didn't feel like he was himself.
Yeah, that's true.
He wasn't himself unless he had a script in front of him. That's
right. Well, I think that stems from the fact that he had so much self-loathing that he couldn't handle being himself. So anytime a script was landed on his ass, he became someone else.
Yeah.
Awesome.
He was awesome.
Is anyone else getting static?
No.
I'm not.
No static here.
Then again, my bandwidth is like permanently down a notch.
Oh.
11's fine for me. It might be some feedback that you get or some shit.
Well, we did have a comment earlier that I've been trying to find a way to sneak in here, and since I've kind of derailed all conversation. the comment is, yeah, assholeness is mistaken for masculinity. Yes, I agree.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, what actually strikes me, and this is kind of an odd story, I guess, for back in the day, there was a time period that I was just going around being pretty much a rude asshole to a lot of different people, and women seemed to respond to it, and I thought it was kind of funny, because then I'd start being really nice to them, and then they'd break up because I wasn't being an asshole. It's like, what? And the initial thing is, well, but they're being nice to me, and then after a little bit it's like, oh, well, they're just really a nice guy, and they're an asshole as a show, well, fuck it. It confused the hell out of me.
Yeah. No one's going to love you for being nice.
It's always made me wonder if there are legitimately some women that almost want to be treated like crap. I think it's that whole fixer-upper thing.
Well, isn't that the same thing that the issue was women are bitches? Wouldn't that be the same alternate to like the whole men are assholes thing? Yeah.
Well,
be the same thing, right?
Hang on, Rictus, you waved. Did you want to add something?
Well, no, yeah, you were saying, and I kind of lost my train of thought now. Oh, what did you say again, 13?
I made the comment that it's times I think that there are women that actually.
Oh, okay.
You know, I think it might be a fixer-upper thing.
I think that's a people thing in general, because there's even guys out there that'll go through do the same thing.
Yeah, exactly. Some guys actually like to have a bitch.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I just relationships to me are very, very strange and odd.
Actually, I should take that back. Not a bitch. Guys like a girl. Some guys just prefer women who are very high maintenance.
I do. I'll admit I like bitchy women. Not bitchy in the sense like total cunt, but like someone who stands up for themselves and the way I am. They need to be.
No, that's not being a bitch.
Like as much as a cunt as I am, I kind of get off on that, you know. Might be stupid, but oh well.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, you know what? I mean, while I was talking a little bit about being self-defeating and fucking whatever earlier, like, you know what I'm saying, there are times when somebody has to realize what your failings are and what your limitations are in life, you know what I'm saying? And that doesn't need to be depressing, like, you know what I mean? I ain't ever going to play the fucking cello, you know what I'm saying? I lack the skill and interest to play the fucking cello. But this, on the same vein, I honestly feel that old Lenny is the type of guy who people just aren't going to sincerely love. And that's not me shitting on myself. You know what I'm saying? I've always felt like I'm better off by myself.
Wow.
I'd argue that there are some people out there that are more complete alone.
You know what I'm saying? Now, I enjoy sex, and I enjoy having sex, and I get to have sex when I go looking for it, and that's fine. That's not what I'm talking about. I don't live a sex-deprived life. But when it comes
bragging about it.
Yeah, well, you're deciding not to have sex. So I don't want to fucking
I know, I'm just being a douche with you.
Epi, you want to come down to Central Florida? I'll get you later in an hour. Don't you worry about it.
That's quicker than the flight.
Yeah. But yeah, I honestly feel like the whole companionship thing, like the whole whatever, it's just I don't feel like anyone can see there's anything in me that other people can see that they just want. You know what I mean? I've always felt Catholic. That's probably true.
Is that Catholic guilt?
It's just I've always felt like, you know what? I'm better off. I live 3,500 miles away from my father. I live 1,300 miles away from my mother. It's just I tend to repel other people.
Well,
I've got a select group of friends.
There's a band that I'm going to have to introduce you to at some point called Big Catholic Guilt.
Yeah.
What are they called?
13 introduced me. Yeah, 13 introduced me to that band years ago. Because you sampled them for your
together.
Sounds interesting.
Your history.
Such lovely songs like "I'll Piss on Your Grave," "I'll Shit on Your Grave," and yeah.
They sound like Cannibal Corpse.
They're pretty. They're fun.
No,
You sampled them for your Industry of Death series. That's how I found out about them.
Yeah.
No, I'm a Violent Femmes type of guy. Though I went through a punk rock phase for a while.
You ever heard 6L6?
Oh yes.
Minor Threat.
Minor Threat, dude. I had a band called Soap in the Pee Hole, where all we did was Minor Threat covers.
Oh shit! Really?
Yeah, all we did was Minor Threat covers, and occasionally we throw in the line "Soap in the Pee Hole, it burns."
Damn.
Yeah, it does.
Sounds lovely.
I'll take your word for that.
It's true. It's true. We had another band called Anal Hitler and the Black Girls. They were less successful.
Anal Hitler and the Black Girls.
Well, that's because you didn't have the right ring to it. I mean, Anal Cunt did pretty well.
That's true. Well, Anal Hitler was this guy in a dress and a Hitler mustache, and the Black Girls were me and two of my friends wearing like the blackface thing.
Oh.
We did exactly 2 shows, and after
and now the viewer count starts dropping.
That is the most wackiest vision of the minstrels ever.
Whatever,
Honestly, that's just like
16.
crazy.
I'm loving the straw hat. I just have to say.
Well, there's 2 of us, so.
Oh, wait a minute. Let me join the party.
How many motherfuckers have straw hats?
Yeah, let me tell you. Started something.
Kevin will have one too, apparently.
Well, red line, like this is. Where's my old straw hat?
I had one. Nice, Kevin.
I have an old. Oh, it's outside. My old straw hat that.
Nice.
It's falling apart. This
He
is my
stole that from his fucking roommate.
Dude, you almost look like a scarecrow.
Actually, no. This I stole from the Bible camp I used to work at. Here's a prop. I took it home with me, and I didn't tell anyone.
Oh.
Yes, I'm a horrible person.
You're a horrible person. I actually stole from a church, so.
That's good for you. Keep it up.
Whatever, dude. I fucked a girl in the sacristy once.
You people are blasphemers. Oh,
well,
I bought this.
Literally,
just to go into a less
fuck
blasphemous
you.
story. I bought this hat at a Halloween party, and basically because I wanted a cheap costume, I took this and the banjo.
I don't technically have a straw hat. My wife has one that's kind of a straw hat, but I don't think it's me.
No, it's not. You look weird. Durr.
Like a straw fedora. We should send this to Neo.
Ow. Yes, did your dead mama give you that straw hat?
Yeah.
Straw Hat Gate. Dun, dun, dun.
If you start playing that banjo, I will end you.
Who said that?
I will win you.
Fedora-esque things. I do have one in honor of Neo that I bought.
Yeah.
Wow, that's a good out fedora.
You one of those white hats, eh?
Yeah,
I don't trust them white
what are you
hats.
talking about, white hat? This thing's full of sparkles, man. This is
Dude,
all.
Oh, it's a fabulous hat.
That's
That's a disco hat.
That it is.
That is the fedora you wear when you're going out tonight. Like, you know what I mean? You and the girls just go do some damage.
I don't think I could. Yeah, this is the kind of hat I don't think I could pick up any girls in. Howdy. No.
How can you look more
It's not from that Halloween party I went to.
sparkly fedora?
I'm sorry?
I said, how can you look more like a douchebag? Well, wear a sparkly fedora.
Exactly.
Yes.
Oh.
So, yeah, Insomnia Shuffle Straw Hat Edition.
Oh.
I know you have one.
Hand general edition.
Here. I see the squid.
Yeah, I'm here.
I know you have a fucking redneck hat somewhere.
No, hold on. I do have a hat, but it's just a baseball hat.
Okay, so you're just a douche bro.
Yeah, the only.
Well, I literally just came home from actually a baseball game, so.
Okay, even better.
I can lend you my fedora if you like.
The closest I get to a redneck hat is the Irish brand of the redneck hat.
No, that's a nice hat.
Now call all of us cunts and verbally abuse us.
You dirty, mangy cunts.
And just in case said pony is still, for some bizarre-ass reason, watching the stream, I'd like to point out that Lenny does not qualify for Cunt of the Week because he is Cunt of the Decade.
Yeah, on the cunt ever.
Said pony, dude.
Funny story. Hold on, I'm gonna turn my camera.
It better be
Dude, I
fucking
swear to
funny,
God,
and I
if
don't
it's
laugh.
the essence of long-winded bullshit that ends in no one laughing, I'm going to flip.
Might not laugh, but it's a good story. So the game I actually went to tonight for this baseball game, whatever. It's at it was my college's for my school, Arizona State University. it was their last game at their regular stadium, which they've been playing at for 40 years. It was kind of a big deal. So after the game, I kind of did a little something you're not supposed to do. Mm-hmm. I kind of went out and stole a little bit of some dirt from the stadium, just as a little memento.
What is that?
Oh, bad boy. Bad boy.
What is it?
From the stadium?
You stole a little dirt from the... How...
Why is that a big deal? You took a complete Ziploc bag of dirt. What the fuck is the problem?
Sell it on the black market.
I stole dirt from a stadium.
Wow.
Yeah. Now, on the other hand, this is going to sound funny, but I do occasionally collect dirt. Technically sand. A friend of mine has a party every year, and it's a themed party, and it's, you know, kind of tropical themed, and the gag is that, you know, you've left the real world and you're now on the mystical island or whatever the fuck kind of thing. And every year people bring sand from different parts around the world, and he will dump this in this basically sandbox for all intents and purposes. So basically there's sand there from all around the world, and it's kind of a gag, so yeah, everyone's all yeah.
But there's a point to it. All this disease-ridden, vermin-ridden sand from all over the world.
Yep.
No, that sounds cool though.
Yeah, it's kind of neat. But yeah, it's a really fun party, and the fact that there's usually naked girls there doing body shots kind of helps.
Fuck you! I'm jealous.
Okay, my little memento.
Hey.
Ooh, naughty boy.
You stole dirt. Yeah, sorry, South Park wouldn't be interesting enough.
It's kind of a big deal. Hey, they've won 2 national championships all playing at that stadium. It's kind of a big deal.
Yeah, I'm talking like
they've actually won 5 national championships overall. They are a big baseball school. It's a big deal.
So anyway, last year we added Sand collection from Normandy, the beach of Normandy.
Oh wow.
Oh. Fancy.
Among all the other people that brought beach sand from all kinds of weird places. I mean, there was some interesting ones this last year. There was some beach in Okinawa, something like that, and one in the Philippines, and all over the place.
Oh, if you want, I can send some sand from the Netherlands.
Yeah, I might think about that. I'll have to see what they already have in their collection. I think we've covered most of the world by now. Christ.
Wait a second. If you get that, Mario, if you get sand like that, would it then be called nether sand?
Yes.
I amused myself just then.
Yes, you did. Oh, as usual.
Wait,
doing it.
Lenny, why is the camera pointing at your ceiling? Are you D? That's D's job. Oh, there we go.
This way, it's up. You can become a rep.
Lenny, thank you for mentioning films earlier.
Here, okay, if that's the latest trend.
I only point my camera at the ceiling when I'm bringing up puppets.
Have fun. You can look at my ceiling light.
That's one sexy ceiling light, Kevin.
I know, right? That's what all the chicks I have over say. Wah, wah.
Yeah. So, how often does your mother come over to help you clean the ceiling light? Sorry. I don't comment. I had to go there. He's going to kill me one of these days, I swear. And it'll actually have good reason to.
You know, so you rare situations where you're watching your friend get the shit kicked out of him, and you're like, "Nope, I'm not stopping this. You earned this. This is happening to you, and I hope you learn something from it."
There we go. Make it a little more interesting to look at.
Hey, if your account dropped, I wonder if Eve actually finally started that hangout. Last time I checked it, it was showing that it wasn't broadcasting yet.
Yeah, that's what happened when she tried to run her transhumanism hangout. They started and were talking for an hour, and they realized it wasn't live.
Oops. What the hell is transhumanism?
Oh.
Never mind.
Transhumanism is pretty much the a philosophy that deals with the idea of humanity improving itself in fundamental ways, technologically or biologically. And in my view, it's pretty much something that's inevitable. It's something that we're going to have to deal with, whether we like it or not.
Life extension, this kind of stuff. You know, the stuff that eventually, if we do get, only the rich will be able to afford anyway, and the rest of us will be fucked.
I see.
Not for long.
So basically, is this kind of like the movement that tries to put us in like robot bodies?
Yeah, like nanotechnology.
Not necessarily.
Mind uploading would be one aspect of it, but there's more to transhumanism than just we're going to be immortal. Yes, that's
but that's what you talk to people that are interested in transhumanism. The immortality angle is what they seem to latch onto more often than not.
It sounds kind of religious in a way.
How would you want to be immortal?
Depends on who you talk to.
Yeah, what I'm referring specifically to the ones that I've spoken to regarding the issue. They seem to be more like, wouldn't immortality be great? I'm like, no, it would suck.
No, that's
I always argue against this because I think immortality is the idea is so awesome. I mean, I've said this before. At what point in your life do you think, I don't care if you're 90 or 100 years old, at what point in your life can you say, I've had enough fun, I've learned enough, I've talked to enough people, I've had sex enough times? At what point can you really say, I've had enough? I don't think I could ever have enough life.
You know, the idea of why transhumanism interests me so much is the idea of fundamentally improving our thought processes and addressing some of the real flaws that come with, you know, just being human. That interests me a lot, and that really appeals to me, but I am not going to lie that there are serious ethical questions that come along with that. And it doesn't matter what I think about it. It's technologically, we've already been improving ourselves, and it's not going to be very long before, you know, we're going to understand the brain to the point that we can interface it with the technology we already have.
Yeah,
and we need to learn how to deal with that.
Yeah, but are we going to basically get the whole hedonic? You're aware of the hedonic meter? Basically, during every set amount of change, you go through a bit of stress and then kind of boredom, and then you deal with it. Essentially, any time we're going to go through any absolute change, we kind of mellow out. I mean, there are people. I mean, there are some old people. If you ask, has much changed in your life? And they can live through wars, see all this technological change, and they'll be like, not much really. Like, I once talked to my dad about this. I was like, so, did you notice anything different growing up? Not really. And this is a guy who lived in a village where they didn't have electricity. Not to mention, there were still animals living there, and now he's living in a world where there's computers, and he can talk to people all over the world, and there's a cell phone that has his picture and all his friends, and it's this big, and it's a computer that basically the ones he saw in university would never, ever have lived up to. I think we tend to ignore these things. We put them in our subconscious when we don't think about them.
As someone who's, you know, grew up in the 90s and has been really involved in the technological area and computer science major, I'll say, yeah, it definitely has changed, and I'm struggling to keep up with it.
Yeah, it's things are changing faster rate than anybody can keep up. I think that actually is a lot of the problems we're having.
I wonder if there's a certain critical mass that we're going to reach with that, though.
Also, do we have enough resources to even deal with this? I mean, it takes quite a bit of resources. Do we?
I think so. Actually, yeah. I think the problem is not that we don't have enough resources. The problem is if we use the resources we have that we now know of, because there's basically 10 times more fossil fuels, and it gets dirtier and dirtier the deeper you get, so to speak, just to put it in horrible terms, simple terms. But there's plenty more carbon to do. We could change our entire global infrastructure but the problem is not whether we have the resources, or the knowledge for that matter. To me, it's our application of it. We get so stuck up in the political aspect of everything and all these contrivances and the economic aspect of everything. If we could actually just apply what we knew, we could change the Earth in 10 years.
I thought you were going to go a slightly different angle. I thought you were going to go for how wasteful we are as people.
I think I know why Lenny thinks immortality is fun, so he can flop his mechanical dick around.
Okay.
But I do share your concerns, Epi. I kind of agree with you in the sense of the way we're doing things now. We might not, so to speak, have enough.
Hang on, I do have to interrupt though. I think there might be something to that. I mean, if he could get a little bit of an augmentation, so it, hung down to his ankles, and he could give people walking down the street a mushroom stamp, he might go that way. I don't know.
But seriously, guys, I mean, at what point do you guys feel that you could say, okay, it's over now, I've had enough? How could you ever say you've had enough?
How old are you again?
I don't know what the possibilities are out there, so yeah. Every time you say you had enough, maybe there's
as I
something
currently
better.
am, yeah, I think I could see a limit.
If you were 90 years old and you felt the same way you do as you are when you're 30 years old,
I think if people feel that,
No, we're factoring in
they're like, oh, I'm kind of done. Most people that I've known who have died at that age are like, okay, I've seen enough, done enough, thanks a lot.
Yeah, but
my
I mean, when
mom
you're
is even like, hey, if it happens tomorrow, hey.
Yeah, but we're talking about the deterioration of the human condition.
No, we're talking about a different generation, but we're also talking people who are actually that old.
Hang on.
Think about it
this way. What I'm saying is, though, mate, is that when you're deteriorated to the point where you're pooping in a bag, and your cataracts got cataracts, and your quality of life is so garbage, you're just like, you know what, fuck it. If this is as good as it's going to get, then I'm done. I feel that. I get it.
At that point, yes.
Hang on. Host takes the fucking floor. Yeah, I'm gonna play the host card, motherfucker.
Yeah.
But
host the shit up.
Yeah, but I mean, here's the thing: I have a number of really weird ways of going about things, and one of them is people that I know that are elderly that are connected to my family. When after they hit a certain stage, I will ask them, if you were to leave a message behind for those that follow, what would it be? And it's never what you'd expect. For example, one woman was just, yeah, I've had a good run, good family, I'm content. That was the end of it. Nothing big or deep or profound in terms of what we normally would expect. But time after time, it seems to be these things like, yeah, I had a good run, I'm fine with that.
My experience, I'm with Lenny on this. It's not just that there seems to be, I can't see an end to my curiosity and wanting to know more. It actually seems to be the not a steady state, almost like that explanation, but more to analogize with the universe. It seems more like dark matter, dark energy. It seems my curiosity seems to be growing at an exponential rate, and if anything, it's being pissed off the fact that I won't even come close to knowing, so to speak.
On that point, just very quickly, one big thing was one of my dad's friends growing up is a guy who was an inspiration to me. He taught me a lot of great shit. HIV positive, and he's been HIV positive for about 9 years. So he's taking medication, he's got his treatment, and he's doing great, and we all love him to death. But I remember asking him, dude, how did you react? What were your initial feelings when you discovered that you had HIV? Because you have that awful stigmatism of, HIV is a death sentence. You're going to die now, right? And you're going to die in a really awful way. And he said the worst part was when he would see a movie, you'd see a trailer for a film and be like, I'm not going to get to see that movie. You know what I mean? He was concerned about everything he was going to miss out on, all the fun he wasn't going to get to have, all the things that were going to come in 20 years that he didn't think he would get to see, and that's what I'm talking about. I'd love to know what the world's going to be like 200 years from now, and it breaks my heart that I'm not going to get to be there for all the awesomeness.
I think that would be the same for most humans, right? Missing out on stuff is always a bummer. But in respects of old people, when I was in hospital last year, I met some old dude. He was 90, and he was still walking around like he was a young guy. And he was just saying because I was amazed at his age to begin with, and he just said, enjoy life and take it for what it is, and don't try and miss out on opportunities, because regret is the worst thing, he said to me. Being old, all the stuff that he's done, he said, just don't regret stuff, basically. And he was like 90. I was just like, wow. So that was my biggest inspiration for getting older. Is try and pack it in as much as you can, because it's inevitable. You're gonna die anyway.
With transhumanism, you don't have to.
That's a valid point there, because in the past, there really wasn't much. The world wasn't changing that much from generation to generation, so people in their own lives didn't see that there might be much value to, or there might be not much to see by staying alive for a couple more decades. But now that's not the case. That's really not the case now.
Well, I mean, even that. I mean, a couple of decades, a couple 100 years. After a while, you'd get bored.
I don't think so.
Would you though?
I don't think so. I think that is.
But there's a big element though to life. Like you can learn, you can come to appreciate the new discoveries. That's the whole point. Like
that's not something that you have a utopian living that you can afford all this stuff. Seriously, like it's very funny. I just find it laughable. Like that. Okay, if you're a multi-billionaire, sure, that'd be fucking awesome.
Well, the thing is, the more you know, the more you start to see things in a broader context, how things relate. So, sure, 100 years from now seems like a long time from our perspective, only being alive for 30. But once you're 500, you'll be in the mindset of, all right, planning for 2,000 years in the future. Everything will change about you. I mean, it has to. Just I hope like you are now from 10 years ago. If you're the same as 10 years ago, please quit wasting oxygen.
Yeah, that's why I refuse to speculate on what I might think or what my perspective might be in even 10 years from now. Like, ask me in 10 years. I'm sorry. Whatever I say now, it's not going to matter.
Yeah.
Let's say right now, I've always been very willing to say that hey guys, this time tomorrow I could be a theist.
Okay, I'm going to crack a joke actually because theism just came up. Okay, so the rapture is coming any moment now. You live 3,000 years. How pissed off would you be? Anyway, just throwing that out there.
Yeah, I mean, Duncan MacLeod's still waiting, right? I mean, he's been around for a minute.
Yeah, I mean, it's I don't know. It strikes me in a lot of different ways. One of which is that I wouldn't want to fucking live forever. And a good portion of that is, when you look at the word forever and what it entails, it's like, no. I mean, shit, look at our society now. You're in your 40s, or it's hard to get a job. You're in your 50s, nobody fucking wants you. Well, now live 200 fucking years, that paradigm would have to change, you'd think. But first off, we're probably going to have the same kind of shitheads running the game. It's like, oh, well, we get to live longer, we get to rule longer, base. You have all this kind of shit going on. And there's a point at which I think over the course of this, you just start losing faith in humanity.
Well, when
stupid fucking mistakes over and over and feel like you can't do shit about it.
If we can live for 200 years from
already happened. Yeah, I lost faith in humanity a long time ago.
I'm not talking about other motherfuckers living forever. I'm just talking about me.
Oh, okay. Well, the other motherfuckers living too.
I seem to gain more as I go on faith in humanity, so to speak, because just learning potential. Sure, it's almost like a movie in the sense that the closer you get to your objective, the further away it seems like you are from there. So in the sense of the more you understand about our potential, the more you also realize about how much the fucked up shit we do. So. But at the same time, it's a bunch of potential, man. Look at our path so far. If we could live for 200 more years, I believe the change in the next. This is me just projecting, but this is, if we could live to see what's 200 years from now, it will. Not only will we obviously not be able to describe it from today, but it will. I think it will continue the path of history. It'll. Assuming we don't destroy ourselves and all that bullshit, but. There'll be so much change. I can't fathom it. I mean, to the point of the way you just brought up right a second ago, 13, about obviously certain paradigms will have to change because you mentioned the age thing and work. Well, I think that's like at the basis of a lot of the change that I hope does happen and I think will happen over the next 100, 200 years.
Keep in mind, I write sci-fi, and I enjoy sci-fi. And this whole setup sounds like the setup for a dystopian novel to me. It really does.
I mean, I just don't. I don't
think that's just the way our way of thinking.
Hang on. Let me follow this to its conclusion a little ways here, because I'm not going to fully go down the rabbit hole, but I want to explore it a little bit. Okay?
Our rabbit hole.
Because really, kind of what it comes down to is when you have something like this, then of course there's, well, we need to control our population, and if we're not getting out there quick enough to try and colonize or whatever the fuck. First off, there's a matter that everyone's going to have to be, of course, working longer to be able to keep making money, or we're going to have a better investment strategy, whatever the fuck. But what would most likely happen is that the people that are the wealthiest or the most influential are the ones that are going to get to keep living, and the rest of the people are mostly fucked. This is kind of coincides with a lot of what I've seen in human nature, and this is something that would be an expectation. Now, maybe it'd become affordable for everyone someday, but even then, what biases do we have within older people within our culture? What bigotries do we have that we're dealing with now? And I think one thing that allows for the change in that cultural paradigm for a lot of these old ways, these old hatreds, these old bigotries to pass on, is for the people that are promoting them and holding them to pass on. And if you don't have that anymore, what's to get these people to, adjust to a newer paradigm? You're going to have, these same people preaching the same bullshit.
Yeah,
that's why in some cases death. Yeah, I was gonna say death is a good thing in that respect. I mean, look at generational issues. It's a good, it's good that people who are racist people die and don't pass that shit on.
I mean, it's a fundamental part of being human.
I don't see like, oh great, we get to live longer. I see stagnation.
Exactly.
No, dude, come on now. You're talking about nonsense right here, my man, and I'll tell you why. Because like you gotta admit that people grow and change, and with their experiences, they become basically a whole new person. As the man said, you're not the same person you were 10 years ago. You didn't believe the same things. You think the same way.
And 13 is more.
We don't know. We don't know.
That doesn't apply to everybody.
We don't know what introducing that kind of technology, that kind of power would do to our society. We can't predict it.
But I do agree with 13.
It could turn out well.
If it came out tomorrow, I see exactly very similar to what 13 did. But if we were just I thought we were talking. I mean, obviously it's hard to talk about the future because then it's like, well, you got to start from here and you have to make certain presups before you can start to elaborate what you think might happen. So if I were to say, well. So I wouldn't see the biggest advantage of such a technological advancement until we were to the point of getting past certain of the things that we're all stuck in now that will create such dystopia, which is that of, I ultimately argue, that of artificial scarcity, which drives our notions of property and everything. Because until we get past, because think about that, ownership, property, it's at the basis of everything, in-group, out-group, what belongs to me. So it doesn't necessarily mean a physical thing, but it could be people, quote unquote, belong to me because they're in my group, my family, my whatever. It's at the basis of all of our division, it seems to me. So that's what's got to be addressed. I don't know. I'm ranting now.
Wasn't it I think it was some dude, I don't know who it was, but there was some quote where there's no such thing as me, really. It's always it's a we thing. It's everything we know is borrowed kind of from somebody else in that respect. So it's more of a we than a me, which is weird that we don't focus on everything we know is taught and learned from somebody else or isms and stuff. It's an amalgamation of...
No one is the true author of anything original because they only take what came before, alter it in some way that's currently useful, that everyone can recognize the pattern of what came before to see the change. If something was truly unique or whatever, it would disappear instantly because no one would get it.
I'm sorry, I'm going to cut this off here. We got into a 3-hour discussion on this in a former episode. Let's keep to the transhumanism.
Okay. Well, you know what? I was just in the hangout before, and we were talking about AI in transhumanism and whether we could perfectly replicate human beings in computer form, in a sense like AI. And I was arguing that I don't think that's possible, just based on not knowing stuff would be kind of the flaw in math to perfectly reproduce a human being.
I think I don't know that it'd be desirable. Can you imagine G-Man existing on the internet forever?
I think the first artificial intelligence will emerge. It won't be all right, this is what we're going to do. Okay, all right, we're now at the final stage. Let's flip the switch, and oh look, now it thinks. It won't be like that. It'll emerge just like it did in reality.
But would a G-Man want to stay on the internet forever? Because if he stayed there forever, that means he wouldn't be able to go to heaven. Because
we could write him a program. Give him some parameters.
I can see some crazy thought experiments you could do with G-Man though.
The reason why I kind of cited
Actually, I would be interested to see how well his rapping improves over an eternity of time.
Well, hang on. The reason why I cited him is that my thought was that if they were going to do something like that, they'd have to start with more simple AI first.
Yeah, like them little crazy robots who play football kind of thing.
Fucking rock'em sock'em robots.
Yeah. Football robots, dude. Yeah, delete G-Man Xing. Good. That would be a good start.
Is anyone else hearing like a really ridiculous static noise?
Yep.
Yep, I hear that.
I don't know who's making it though. That's the only problem.
Stizor.
It's not me. It's not me.
Can be me.
Try now.
Definitely not me. I muted myself and I still hear that sound. It's not me.
Yeah, it's
Okay,
not you.
Might be
I'll
me.
mute myself now.
Oh, okay, I missed something. What was that?
It might have been you, Mario. Because I don't hear the
with
static
my,
anymore.
Probably with my cheap microphone.
It sounded like a really static thing.
Mm-hmm.
Could be me.
No, because you were talking for yourself.
Though it's fine now.
It was 13 heathens transcending.
Yes, transcending the meat sack. I don't know. It's just.
Okay.
Oh, wait, there it is again.
Back.
It's me. It's me. It's me.
Okay.
Okay. In any case. But yeah, I mean, I think it's a whole can of worms, and that's, as I was saying earlier, I really think that's the thing, is I think that the old need to give way to the new for the paradigm in culture to be able to shift. I mean, you know, who wants the Grand Dragon of the KKK living forever? Fuck that.
No. Well, maybe he'll change as a person, given the time.
You can only hope, but
we have
as
this
much
tendency.
as I think that there are people that will change and adapt and this and that, there's so many that are just so set in their ways. And
no, I agree with you, 13. I think we have a tendency to think, take the framework, the house of cards that we have built now, and it's just all we can do, and project it out, and we imagine one card at a time. Like, what would it be like if this aspect of culture and society changed? And it's basically impossible for us to see the whole house of cards. So take the example you're talking about with how, and I completely agree, because this has been the only way we've gotten anywhere throughout all time is the old corrupt ideologues have to be, set aside. They need to die off. Well, maybe some of those cards that would be changed also too would be the social systems that would recognize this, and once you got past a certain whatever, you would. Well, see, it's hard for me to start explaining this because I really do see things a lot differently. I see many of those cards already changed in my head, so it's hard for me to explain one. But like with old people, I'm imagining a world basically without high technology post-scarcity. So basically what you would do in your retirement, quote unquote, to use the same terminology, would be, you wouldn't have the interest, so to speak, in such a world to control, because first of all, that control wouldn't be available because of things I can't go into right now. It's not the conversation, but your interest would be, focus on your family, go travel the world, whatever. But I don't know. I'm just starting to rant now. But
well, hang on. Let's take this from a slightly different angle. How do you deal with criminals? You can't do a life sentence anymore.
Okay, yeah, of course, because criminals aren't born; they're made. So that it has everything to do. Now, I'm not obviously. We're not talking absolutes. There are psychopaths and sociopaths that develop. There always has to be systems, regulation systems for these, of course. But when we talk about the U.S. prison rate, this is contrived. We created this. We don't have that many people born that are bad. Okay, religion got this wrong. We figured this out.
I'm talking strictly about sentencing here, though. How do you deal with sentencing?
I'm gonna be controversial here, and I know this is gonna raise some eyebrows, but from heathens' point of view, let's say you've got a fucking rapist or some shit commits a crazy crime like that, right? Now, if we're using transhumanism, you know, we got to a stage of, you know, being a different type of human being and we live forever or some shit, then wouldn't the case be that you would get rid of that part of a human being to, and that would kind of get rid of being human? I mean, all the fucked up shit is what makes us human, right? So kind of removing these bits instead of doing it like naturally, we would be imposing it on other humans and.
I agree, but like for instance, think about how you said it. What is it to be human? I think this is an error. I don't think there is. You know, we can't pin that down. I think that's actually a mistake. Our history is full of deciding something, proclamating it, but the thing is, reality always changes.
Well, okay? I said before, it'd be a form of digital eugenics in the case of living forever. It would be somehow like it would be eugenics, but not using genetics because we were talking about AI.
You committed a crime. You no longer get to live however many years. You now have a normal lifespan. Fuck you. We stop giving you whatever the fuck treatment it is that you're paying for.
The difference between positive eugenics and negative eugenics.
You can't die in jail. I mean, a 30-year sentence, the life sentence, if you live 300, 400, 500 fucking years, who gives a shit? I mean, I look at my life and how much shorter the years seem to be going. You give me 300-400 years, fuck it, I can do a 30, no problem.
Yeah.
I mean, this is a problem. I mean, you'd have to completely change that paradigm. You'd almost have to say, okay, fine, you break a certain line, you'd have to almost have the death penalty just to weed out that part of the population. This is a problem.
No, we're forgetting about. We don't punish criminals. We want to rehabilitate them. This is what's wrong with the U.S. system. We just say you're bad and we lock you up and throw you away and never think about it.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Well, that's what I'm saying. If you take it to the extreme of what rehabilitation could be, you would actually remove them parts of a human being before you would need rehabilitating. You would literally cut that shit out. So therefore, you would be changing a human's fucked upness that's a part of it being a human and taking it away. So, you know, what would a human be in them circumstances?
I'm sorry. No. I'm not sitting here listening to this shit for one more fucking second. What part of a person is fucked up? What part do we cut away? Come on, get a grip.
Well, that's my point. No, but that's my point.
Positive eugenics. Positive eugenics. Where you select for positive. You select for positive traits. You don't weed out the negative ones, so to speak.
Well, hang on. Lenny's been chomping at the bit. Let the boy speak.
What I'm talking about here is, well, first of all, when it comes to
let Lenny speak.
Shut up, Kevin. Lenny.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm still getting that static. I'm trying to figure out what's happening here. So look, it comes down a bit like this. You've got people who could potentially live forever. When you want to, what do people have? People who have everything, what are they afraid of? They're afraid of losing it, right? So, I mean, consider this. Okay, you've got potential for immortality. How about we don't put you away, but we're going to take away your immortality for 10 years. And you have to live with vulnerabilities and exposure to sickness for 10 years. And if you make it, great. And if you don't, well, sorry. And secondly, you're talking about changing the nature of what it is to be human. I don't think that there's this idea of there's evil or there's not. People make mistakes. People are mistakes. People can literally live entire lives making mistakes and suffering the consequences of them. There is no evil. There is no bad gene. All right. There's perceived negativity, and we set these social structures and say this is social behavior and this isn't, and this is okay for you to live in our society and this is not. And if you can't act within these confines, then we're going to take you out of society and put you in a place called prison, where you can act however the fuck you like. We're just keeping you away from the populace where you can do some damage. I fundamentally disagree with this idea that people have a bad part, and we can just deal with that bad part. We're all just people. We're all going to fuck up, and how bad we fuck up is really just,
That's what 13 Heathens were saying. How would you deal with that situation if we all live for like 400 or 500 years? You know, that would be weird, right?
And I fundamentally, one more thing, I fundamentally disagree with this idea that again, perceived bad people are going to be bad forever.
Yeah, exactly. It would deal with itself.
The leader of the KKK can change to not be a racist. He can grow in that way. He's able to do it.
Well, think about this. If you do live forever and you are punished with a lifetime lifetime rehabilitation program, meaning that you get out whenever you're rehabilitated for whatever that we'll just stay away from that, whatever that means. So wouldn't the incentive be that I'm not in here for life. My life isn't over because it's not a life sentence. Therefore, I've got something to work for. I am going to live forever because that's the way, in this hypothetical people are. So wouldn't that itself almost be motivation to do something to get out, to improve yourself? Because
for some people,
after all, you have all the time in the world.
Well, yeah, except we have to change the criminal system first, because the prison system right now has nothing to do with rehabilitation. It's meant to breed more criminals.
Well, yeah, exactly. In the States, we could take lessons from other people that have. Yeah. This is why this discussion is very hard, because, like I said, it's a house of cards. All societies like a house of cards. We imagine
everything would have to change first.
Exactly, and how it does change throughout history is you change one little aspect at a time, and then only in hindsight you see that the entire deck has been changed. So at any one point in time, it's hard to sit in the middle of it and imagine the deck change when we can only imagine 2 cards at a time.
Well, if I may, I think the problem is, first you need to forge a world that's worth living forever in.
Yeah.
You got to have the inspiration, the ideas. You got to have something to work towards.
And we don't have that now. As a human, we've got no idea what our goal is as a species.
Right. I agree with that. I think they're out there and for us to find. But for me, it came to realizing potential, and that kind of gave me my things to work towards or whatever. Yeah, I guess my thing is to try to get people to slightly understand this too. Is that there really is so much potential out there, and we really do seem to be limited by not what we can do, but the means of which govern these technologies, these abilities of ourselves. It's the other systems, the governance type systems that seem to be the problem. But when you actually look at what we could do, if all the new technologies are rolling out, if we had a different orientation in society, instead of trying to get a product into the pocket of every person that we hope they replace every 3 months.
Can I ask you a question, Fox? Though I don't mean to interrupt, but can I ask you what would you think would be the end game to all this information? So let's say we're in transhumanism and everyone's holding hands, singing "Kumbaya," we're all in agreement. We all treat each other with respect. Blah blah blah. What would be the point then? I mean, what would be the human race's point of existence?
Well, to speak as a human. Well, okay, I don't know, but I'm pretty sure, based on everything that's come before us, we constantly figure new things out at which we need to deal with that we seem to let divide us. So just like today, people joke that we bicker and argue about first world problems, like gay rights. That's a quote unquote. It's a horrible slang, but it's kind of true. When you don't have, when your society is to the point where you don't even have the necessities of a functioning government or whatever, these things are just way out there. That's for the future. It'll be the same I see in the future. There'll be things we'll be arguing and having these discussions over things that today might seem absolutely pointless, but will be absolutely pivotal then, just like it is today from the past. I mean, once again, we're limited by what we know today.
Hang on. We're losing viewers. I'm going to switch the dialogue a little bit by posing another question, because I think we might have spent enough time beating this dead horse. So let's switch it up a little bit.
You want to bash Raul?
I got some views.
Yes, Raul's a dumbass.
You just told him to go the fuck back to sleep instead of bothering me.
In a transhumanist world, what would things like war and murder actually be?
Kind of cut out. I couldn't hear that.
War and murder within a transhumanist world.
I think they would still exist.
Oh, I certainly think they would too. But what would be the? How would they be regarded? Do you think? Do you think there'd be more or less, or?
I think there'd be more of it. I think there'd be more. I think there'd be more.
I don't think we can. I don't think we can determine that any more than we could determine anything that happens after the singularity.
No, this is all.
What's this thing about a singularity?
It kind of goes with the idea of transhumanism that eventually technological evolution and improving our own intelligence is going to reach a point that beyond that we can't really predict anything that's going to happen beyond that because it's really going to be beyond our comprehension.
I don't buy all that.
This is actually kind of a pretty interesting shift in focus, us turning to technology to kind of solve our problems. It used to, or for utopia, it used to be that people look backwards. Like, this is why in a lot of religious narratives, there's the whole Garden of Eden, the utopia that's in nature. That like, think of how great things were back in the day. However, in the transhumanist mindset, it's like, no, we should be looking for the future, forward technology. That's going to be the stuff that's going to grant us utopia. So I kind of think of it like a flip side thing.
Can somebody define exactly what we're talking? And I know we're all bad for this. I don't want to get distracted for maybe just 5 minutes. What exactly? Maybe I missed it in the beginning. What exactly do we mean by trans? I know that's the interaction of machines and biology, but like how much interaction? I actually don't think we'll go down that route as much as what I think other people think.
What I'm trying to focus on is the longevity part of it right now, more than anything else. Because, and this is part of why I brought up things like war and murder and these kind of things specifically, is because, okay, you have your sentence and you can sit there and you can rehabilitate this and that, but there's this one person or this one group of people that you really, really can't stand, and they're going to live forever too unless you do something about it.
Yeah, there's a couple points.
The notion I'm concerned about.
There's a difference between indefinite longevity and immortality. Like, we might be able to do away with aging and death from diseases, but there'll still be war. Immortality itself, like true immortality.
I'm saying they'll live however many 500, 600, 700 years, and you're gonna have to deal with this asshole for 400 or 500 years.
Okay, then there's another point that goes along with it. In addition to the immortality alone or indefinite longevity, there's also the question of fundamental improvements in intelligence and thought processes, and the idea that we're going to create intelligences that are so far beyond our comprehension that we really can't even predict how that kind of society would.
Well, I would say in 13 Heathens case, you like sci-fi like me. Every sci-fi movie that we've ever made into the future, whether it be new ones like Thor and stuff like that, have always had conflicts in them. Even though these guys are super intelligent and they're trying.
Hold on. That's a bad example. Why? Because you can't tell a story without a conflict.
That's not the point, though.
No, it's the point that's being made is the social aspects of the longevity of life.
Can you clarify the point? What were you asking?
Yeah, the point that I'm basically getting to is, in terms of the longevity angle of it, you have one person that you're dealing with, and let's just say you've dealt with them for a whole freaking 100 years. They've driven you batshit the whole time. Let's take somewhat of a real-world scenario. Just for giggles. Psi-10's still pulling his bullshit 100 fucking years from now, and you've had enough of his ass. Well, you're just going to be thrown in jail and rehabilitated for, maybe 50, 100 years, but at least you won't have to deal with the asshole for another 400 fucking years. Do you off him? And if so, how does that really work in terms of this kind of society, that there's almost this point at which, whether it be a person or a culture or what have you, that the only way to not have to put up with them for that length of time, which at this point is an insane amount of time realistically, is say, screw it.
If there was a universe where having to deal with Psi-10 Bruggencate was a fundamental part of my existence, such that the options were either kill him or commit suicide, I think I'd rather commit suicide at that point.
Why could you not just log onto YouTube and just not deal with them?
That's true. He's one guy.
He's one person. You're judging the future of mankind.
I'm going purely off what 13 said, not.
You just turn it off.
but 13, I think the bigger point, what you're trying to get to, without getting into any specifics, is you're right that one of the things we learned in coming up with the rules and regs of how people obey authorities and all this today and deal with punishment, crime and punishment, all this, is that it took us a while, but we realized that the punishment, which is your whole point here, I think, is the punishment usually is somewhat equivalent to the crime. So we made this mistake back in the day that the crime of the punishment of death was like for everything. So if you would go steal a loaf of bread, you'd be killed. But at the same time, if you were to steal the loaf of bread but realize nobody, if you killed the shop owner too, then not only because the crimes is exactly the same, you're going to die either way. But at least if you kill the shop owner, you might get away with the bread. So it brings up a really good point that, and this goes back to overall with, we got to figure out what value is and property and all this, because it all relates back to, right, whether we have infinite amount of something or just one of everything. That really does pin down all of our decisions. So yeah, I mean,
and that's why the human condition is the point to how transhumanism works. Just because it sounds like a nice fancy word, you still have the problem of human to deal with. Fix that, and then you don't have a problem with transhumanism. Fix the human condition, it solves the issues that arise.
If we create some kind of artificial intelligence and it's able to get to the point of self-replication, I don't think it's going to be concerned with humanity. I think it's going to quickly, if it has any kind of thought for more knowledge type thing, if that's the basis of its drive, then it will quickly realize that it can do what we cannot and free ourselves from the bounds of this planet, and it will go off by itself, leaving us behind.
Well, the first thing that will come into its mind is to survive. That's one thing that human beings don't want to do, apparently, is to survive. I mean, when I was growing up, the first thing that shocked me is that humans have no goal as a race or a species or whatever.
That makes
and
the
second part is we're going to go extinct like the dinosaurs, and no one seems to give a shit. That's scary for me.
Well, see, that's the thing. The group selection doesn't exist, no matter how much we want it to. Selection doesn't happen, but I think that's the paradigm shift that humans will bring, assuming we don't destroy ourselves. We will bring group selection to existence for the first time, the new replicator, so to speak.
Do you think we'll put that ahead of kind of individuality and go, it's for the greater good?
I think we're starting to do it already. You can start to see that already right now. I think you can already start to see that because this old system's not working. But the transhumanist thing, the singularity thing, here's a little thought for everybody. The gist is that it's all based on the doubling of information, and Kurzweil charts it out and all this. Anyway, the point of that, and apparently all this exponential adds up in 2048 or something like this. Anyway, it doesn't really matter, but it's somewhere around there. The point of the story is that I watched this lecture with, I think it might have been Sean Carroll or Lawrence Krauss, one of those guys, and basically they were just extrapolated. Well, how long would it take? But how long could we keep doubling our information every 18 months? If it was every 18 months, when would we be at to the point of, all the information in the universe, for instance? Because as everybody knows, an exponential double. When you get to the latter half, you tend to go pretty quick. So he basically did the math, and assuming that you could, we got to the point. Obviously, doubling information, we will be able to get to the point, in this hypothetical, where you'll be able to convert everything at the speed of light from radiating out from Earth, from a sphere in all directions, moving at the speed of light. If you can convert everything instantaneously, moving at the speed of light, you would be supposedly, going to this math, you would be you'd be to the point of all the information in the universe in like 280 years. So
this is the ironic
course limitations to contend with,
exactly.
So that's not going to happen. Every exponential curve is a sigmoid curve in disguise.
Of course.
You would basically end up back where you started.
Mm-hmm. But my point is though, is it puts our time of existence into a little bit more context, I think. Even more than just understanding something like the singularity and the advancement and the exponential growth of knowledge and so on and so forth, is that it can't go on, especially even more so knowing how things it can't go on the exponential, it'll taper off. Even more so, think the next 100 years, how important the next 100 years are in humanity's development.
Well, I just think it's futile to think that we can achieve all knowledge. I don't think there's such a thing as all knowledge. Yeah, I'm just using that as an example of, in the sense of math, the way you're saying it. Because let's say we become that epic thing, then you would literally become the very thing that gave the information. So you would become somebody else's information. Technically speaking, you would become the universe, which is a scary prospect, or make a new one. One of the two.
Well, that would be funny if we actually did that, to only realize what we knew all along, is that we are the universe.
Exactly, and that's what I'm saying. It goes back to the origin of the source, right? So the universe would in essence, if this was the logical way, would create life for that very purpose, to recreate itself in some oddball way. That's just a theoretical proposal, but I'm not saying that's true.
All kinds of possibilities, but I think everything's going to change. Post-scarcity, to put it in 2 words, changes everything.
I think the thing that bothers me is like how we don't just treat each other in a human, nice way, just normally, you know. I think that scares me the most. It's like
the best way to define who you are is to define who you're not. And the best way to figure out who your friends are is to figure out who your friends aren't. It's
apathetic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's how we do business.
How we do. It's like it's our Achilles heel. It's our greatest strength.
Yeah.
So, has there been any more substantive comments left yet, or?
Yeah, we probably should change it up.
Not really substantive, but I'm deciding whether or not to ban somebody from my channel.
All I know is
it fucking Raul? Ban that sack of shit.
Pretty much.
No, keep him. Let's make fun of him, the rabid little dog.
I actually kind of like his insults. You guys aren't real men for liking microbrewery. And tell that guy he had to get the vagina off his face. Okay, so apparently liking vagina on your face isn't masculine.
Not masculine enough.
Does he realize that the pubic hair is not the vagina itself?
Yeah, I would.
The mustache.
Okay, there we go.
The disguise.
Yeah, I normally don't bother to ban people, but when somebody's sitting there threatening to, I'll be watching you to flag you for something, yeah, then go watch somebody else's shit.
Fuck off.
Pretty much.
That just shows how immature they are anyway. I mean, I've seen shitloads of stuff, and I've never flagged anybody on YouTube, ever.
No, I flagged somebody once.
No, that's just me. I just can't. Sorry, go on, Prudence.
No, you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know who you flagged. It was Raw, wasn't it? That one time he docked our people while we were having an Insomnia Shuffle a couple of months ago.
Anyway, sorry.
Yeah.
13, when you saw Godzilla, was Edge of Tomorrow one of the trailers?
Yeah, it was. Wait a minute, is that the one that Tom Cruise keeps dying in?
Yes.
Yes.
I'm going to see it tomorrow.
Yeah, it's going to be his best movie ever.
Please, no Godzilla spoilers, please.
Hang on a second. I absolutely refuse to see it in the theaters because, I don't want to give them money, but at the same point, I do want to see just to see Cruise get offed over and over.
Trailers are dependent on producers.
I haven't seen the trailers, but I got tickets to the pre-premiere that we're going to tomorrow. It's supposed to come out June 6th, but yeah, I'm going tomorrow night with critics and shit. I don't know. I don't know. It's like Groundhog Day meets Independence Day. I'm not sure. I don't think it's going to be good. But yeah, Tom Cruise dying over and over, it might be worth it.
Yeah,
there might be something in it for me. Sorry to derail the topic. I was just curious because I haven't seen because I've been on this hangout since I've learned that I had tickets, so I wasn't watching the trailer yet.
The trailer.
It's Tom Cruise and Emily Blunt, two very uninteresting actors.
Also, another interesting actor, Bill Paxton.
Actually, I like a couple of things that Bill Paxton's done.
I'm gonna just say I actually like Tom Cruise when he's in some films. So yeah, that's.
Nobody liked this movie.
Okay, sorry, I'm kicking you.
Anyways,
did Bill Paxton? Anybody see? Nobody liked the movie. but I liked his role in it. The movie The Postman, Kevin Costner. Long, boring movie for most people.
No.
Yeah, it was.
I love The Postman.
I kind of liked it, but I kind of didn't. Like, I don't remember the story at all, and that's bad news for this story.
Oh, Will Patton.
Like, he's gonna deliver a parcel. Yeah, whip-de-doo.
I actually like that movie.
I actually screwed it. It's Will Patton who I was thinking of. Not
Will
Bill
Patton.
Paxton.
I don't know who Will Patton is.
I got it all mixed up.
I did. Yeah. Like, I figured Bill Paxton was into The Postman, but then again, I remember so little about The Postman.
Right. I was thinking he was the general, the bad guy, but it's not. It's Will Patton, which he does a really good job. But anyway. Which is actually, that's why I like that movie, to tell you the truth. It's because the bad guy, his character is the best.
Well, it sure wasn't Kevin Costner's.
Yeah.
I've got to tell you, I'm probably the only person on the planet, but I'm kind of psyched for the new X-Men film. Comes out in a couple of days.
Haven't they disappointed you enough in the past?
Sorry, look, Brett Ratner fucked it up, and that's fine. But look, Bryan Singer's back as the director, the way it should be. I've got a lot of hope for this one.
Well, it couldn't be any worse than the Wolverine movie.
Yes, that was pretty bad.
There's been so many shits, I can't even keep up with them all.
Personally, I can't wait to see the new Spider-Man movie. That looks good.
I am actually pretty stoked for the new Godzilla movie.
Oh, that also looks pretty awesome too.
Well, if it's half as good as Pacific Rim, I'm happy.
Cool.
I really liked Pacific Rim.
It was a really fucking stupid movie.
It's retarded, but come on, giant monsters, giant robots.
I didn't enjoy it. It's a guilty pleasure, man.
It's fun. Story-wise, it's shit. The idea of two people needed to move a robot like that's retarded. But the idea of huge robots and huge monsters, why not? Always fun.
Well, that's because you're an anime fan.
Not really,
Which is like anime, all of it.
It's just a fun movie.
No, it's the scene with the Newton's cradle made me throw up in my mouth a little bit. But other than that, it was, I guess, okay.
It's not 2012.
Yes, that's true.
Why would anyone pay money or take any time to watch that movie?
Why would you take your children to see that film? What's wrong with you?
I've seen 2012. It looks decent. Story is shit.
Oh God, I hate when people say that. Oh my God, well, it looked good. Just say it was shit, because no movie has an excuse to look bad. So that's not an actual compliment.
Yeah, all movies look really nice now. Remember the horrible CG in the 90s?
Exactly. It's like.
Better yet, you remember how awesome you thought it was in the 90s?
No, see, that's the point. That's what I'm trying to say. Is it always looks good, so to speak. It's a pointless thing to judge a movie on. It's
not really, because I see it like this: a fireworks show. Nothing more.
Oh, this is fun.
What is?
Oh, I'm just enjoying banning another idea of Raoul. Or
My Little Phony, or just another zombie?
No, Zombie Boy.
I don't know. Raoul, he's kind of a piece of shit, isn't he?
Yeah. I was a theist for 60 years, and now they took my life away. Deal with it.
One of the original founding members of the Awesome Crew show.
Yeah. See, it seems to me that when Prudent Discourse calls you a piece of shit, that says something.
I know, I thought shit was useful.
Well, in that case, Prudent, would you be so kind to call me a piece of shit?
You're a piece of shit.
Lenatar, you're kind of being a piece of shit right now, so just cool down.
You don't tell me what to do. I'll fucking defecate in your face.
Lenatar, you live across the entire freaking country. I live on the other side. You're not gonna find me.
No. Calm down, sugar tits. Everything's gonna be all right.
Hey, Lenny, it's Arizona State University.
Yeah, hard to find.
Yeah.
Walk in the front doors and say, "I want the littlest sack of shit you got."
Down here.
First off, you can't just go. It's a university. You can't. You actually have to go through. There's a bunch of different offices, so it's going to be different luck. Second of all, I actually go. There's 2 different campuses that I actually go to at the university. So
Third of all,
Lenny
knows. It doesn't matter because Lenny knows the pizza guy that gets delivered to your dorm, so he's got you either way.
I don't live at the dorms. Aha!
Well, I had to say that because I didn't want to give it away to everybody else.
No.
Prudent, you are forgetting something. Lenny is Irish. He will find you.
And he's not scared of your frat brothers.
I don't have any frat brothers.
No, I'm surprised. Ah! I'm telling you, days like today's, we really want to. You guys are wire smoke.
Do you know what would be this? Do you know what?
Don't
You know, I actually had a pretty awesome idea for a debate. Basically, Raul takes on Jason Burns.
Oh.
You know what I would perfectly like to see? This would be.
I would watch the shit out of that.
I know this is the worst possible 2 people you can actually ever put in a hangout. I'd pay money to see this. I'd pay to see Nephilim Free and Calpern Pizzo go at it back and forth.
That would be pretty awesome.
Yeah, you guys know. No one seems to know who Calpern Pizzo is. He's just an insanely stupid anti-theist who apparently thinks that if you're Christian, that automatically is a litmus test positive for that you're mentally ill and you have this thing called Christ psychosis, which it's total bullshit. But this is the funny thing, and this is the sad thing. He lives in my home state of Arizona. MG42 Pillbox lives in my home state of Arizona. I'm surrounded by fuckwits from both sides.
They're everywhere on every stick.
Hey, every group has his rotten apples.
It's like we have Raul.
Yeah. Bringing out all the socks.
But Prudent, my friend had his doctorate at Arizona State, and he told me, like, he was the first person from that I knew that told me about the religious people down south. Yeah, he told me that every time he got out of the whatever department he was studying / teaching in, there was always preachers outside.
You mean down south as in the U.S.?
Yeah.
There's actually one guy. He came by ASU. I wonder if I can find the video. It's hard to find, but this guy usually hangs around the University of Arizona, which is the other university. It's our rival university out in Tucson.
Right. Yeah, where the evil students go.
Yeah. He comes up to ASU, and he apparently had the sign. He was a stupid preacher who had the sign saying to all the women, "You deserve to be raped."
Well, yeah, I mean, they were dressed immodestly, you know.
Wow. Yeah, this guy apparently wants women to get raped, and he thinks that they deserve it. Kind of a fucking douchebag, if you ask me.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a very strong stance of you to take.
Yeah, U of A is really sick of him, so it's kind of... I guess they figured for one weekend we'd put up with his shit.
I think I heard about that preacher.
Yeah, his name is Brother Dean. I think you can find... just type YouTube. Again, this goes back to my same point. This guy lives in my... Do I just live in a state full of crazy people?
Yes.
And you fit right in.
What's his name, Brother James?
Brother Dean.
Dean, D-E-E-N?
Yeah, D-E-A-N, yeah. Yep, there it is. Oh, yeah, second video if you type it in. At ASU campus. That I know exactly where that's at. That's near the Memorial Union. That's like where all the students meet up.
Wow, this was a year ago.
Prudent.
That was a month. No. That was the first video. Second video was just a couple of months ago.
Prudent, do you want to do something for me?
No. Tell me.
If you see that preacher, kick him in the balls hard.
Here's the thing. I might just bring my camera like just with me. I think I'll do it. Maybe I'll just put that on YouTube if I ever. I don't really care to confront street preachers, but if they start saying like really stupid shit, like especially like with like this stuff that says like, oh, evolution's a fairy tale. If they hold those kind of signs up, maybe I will kind of just confront them on that, and I'll just be like, do you actually know what the hell you're talking about?
And what kind of fairy tales are you reading?
Do you mean like that dude? What's his name? Ray Comfort. That like fucking idiot.
Remember that time Cinderella's allele frequencies changed?
Oh my god, the shittiest fairy tale I've ever heard.
Very much so.
Oh, it's fun. Yeah, I mean, like, I don't think Ray Comfort. He usually hangs out in California at that one little area in Huntington Beach. I don't think there's been some people who've seen him there. Suzuki Das. You guys know who Suzuki Das is, right?
Yeah,
I do.
Yeah, he's met him before. He actually told him like, "Hey, if you want, I have a PhD biologist buddy or microbiologist buddy, and he'll give you a tour of his lab and show you evolution in action. You want to see that?" And Comfort just said, "Nah, I'm good."
Wow.
Oh, but it gets. Oh, there was another one too.
King Crocoduck also saw him.
Yeah, I was at. I love King Crocoduck. He was like the first like YouTube user like I found like in like the Great Debate community, and and I found him. It was because he did the most awesome thing. Comfort was about to give about 1,000 DVDs to a bunch of high school students. He found this on his Facebook page the night before. He called the administration, like for that school, and says, "Oh, hey, there's going to be an evangelist guy who's going to show up giving pseudoscientific DVDs." So what happened was the next morning the school was ready, and basically they said, "Yeah, if you're a student, you got one of those DVDs, throw it in the trash."
They were thrown in the trash. The organization lost money. Pseudoscience wasn't taught, and that was the end of the fairy tale. Yay! Yep. Not a fairy tale, but that sounds like a pretty awesome fairy tale.
Yeah, but he met him that morning, and he basically just revealed how Ray Comfort knew jack shit about evolution. My favorite part was that says, "Okay, what exactly is a kind?" And then Comfort's like, "Well, it's the feline kind, the canine kind." Is like, "Well, no. How do you differentiate between them?" And Comfort says, "Oh, you don't have to." I mean, that was like the smoking gun right there that says, "Okay."
Yeah, that's you bastard. That's a particular. Give it universal.
No, I don't know if you guys have seen the video where he says that he's questioning some kid in the street and he goes, "Have you ever seen the builder who built the house?" And he's like, "Yeah, that's evidence for God." I was just like, "Oh my God, that is just so stupid. That is dumb."
Mm.
Because we live on a planet, that means that God created the planet. Okay. No.
I don't think that's particularly the reasoning, but yeah, somewhat.
No, that's the argument he gave to some kid in the street. He was doing like...
No, wait. That was literally his argument. Premise 1, we live on a planet. Premise 2, God made the planet.
Yeah, because there's a house, but you don't know the builders. That was his example. See the house over there? You know it's a house.
Oh.
The builder, and the guy went no, and he goes, "Well, can you see stuff like the planet or the trees?" And the guy went, "Yeah," and he goes, "Well, how can you say that he isn't God?" And I just facepalmed myself as I said, "Wow."
Oh. I actually am thinking of coming up with a video like what I like. I'm just having a little. I just like to do the fun stuff like
start with someone like that. In all seriousness,
shooting fish in a barrel. I looked last night through. I do this from time to time. I looked through Ken Ham's Facebook group. Long story short, if you see the comments made by regular people on Ken Ham's Facebook page, I guarantee you will lose a little bit of faith in humanity.
Are there any regular people that comment on his page?
What?
Are there any regular people that comment on his page?
No, just like random people who honestly who just say some of the stupidest things. Like they didn't really understand like the last thing of Cosmos. Like all the creationists are like making a big ball over Cosmos, and I haven't really been seeing it, nor do I really care so much. But maybe I'll see the reruns later. But long story short, like the last episode apparently that they did was about nucleosynthesis or nuclear fusion, and that's how heavier elements form in space through stars. So when someone says you came from stars, they apparently took it as, so the evolutionists are now telling us that we are directly the descendants of stars, and they apparently think like, ha, stupid evolutionists, and we're just like, oh, you fucking idiot.
Yeah, I can't believe the mentality of some people. By the way, my debate with G-Man is now canceled.
Damn.
Oh, well. In all fairness, I was thinking of starting a debate with Nephilim Free. That could be interesting.
No.
He's over on Eve's thing right now. You can go talk to him if you want.
Don't.
No, I meant it could be moderated. Shit like that.
Define interesting.
Interesting like a toilet? Like, I mean, fuck.
It'll be interesting because I think it will be the first debate I will engage in where I don't have to say a word and I've already won. Folks, you've heard it from him. Come on. I'm not going to say anything. We all know this is bullcrap. Therefore, I vote we win. I win. Yeah.
Yes. Hold on. Just out of curiosity, like, is there when I took screenshots of all of the Facebook comments. How do I cover up do I have to like cover up the names, or is that not necessary?
Cover up the names. It's just.
Yeah, I think you
should.
How
do I do that? That's the thing. I don't even know the first step. How to do that.
Just open a Paint program and just like wipe it off.
Yeah, just blur it in Photoshop or something, or any image editor.
I don't know how to. I've never used Photoshop. I don't know. I'm really at a basic when it comes to computers.
Well, don't do it then. If you don't know how to do it, then I wouldn't.
No, it's fine. It's not a big deal. They're just random schmoes no one's gonna know about.
But you should have Paint on your computer. If you do print screen, if you press print screen on your computer, open Windows Paint. It comes with just basic Windows.
I use a Mac. It's not gonna work.
Okay. You just don't get me started on Macs. I just hate them fucking.
I like my Mac so far, but yeah, it's fine. If I keep the names up, so the hell what? Honestly, if people figure out who they are, you're just kind of exposing them for some of the really stupid comments. Like, I think this is my favorite one, and I'll give you a little preview. I took 10 random ones. The funniest one was this one. It takes more faith to believe in evolution than it does to trust in Jesus Christ. First of all, I only need to have about 7,000 years rather than 4 billion years. A lot of information of information I would manage. LOL. And it's like, wow, you're basically just saying that I believe in a young Earth because it's easier to believe. It's basically science is hard, therefore I don't want to believe in the actual mental process or the actual difficult, complex processes that it makes up.
Well, you can either learn a lot of complicated stuff, or learn God did it.
Yeah, it's basically.
I mean, one takes 30 seconds.
Path of least resistance.
Yeah, second of all, and the other can take years and years and years and years, and you're still not done.
Or you could be like me and not spend years learning stuff, and also not think God done it.
What irritated me about this comment was how he said, "Oh, like it takes more faith than to believe in Jesus because I would only need 7,000 years." It's like, you dumbass. There are a lot of Christians who think that the world is so much fucking older than 7,000 years. Like, it's amazing. You see, like, a lot of these creationists, they think that you actually, some of them, like, they really try to attach this young Earth just to simple Christianity. And it's like, no, that's not what you necessarily have to do. They almost feel like this young Earth thing is almost, like, necessary for, like, salvation or whatever. That's, like, that is the most frustrating thing, I think, that, because I think up until around February, like, I was Catholic, but I mean, I just could not stand the creationists. Every time I heard something like this come from Ray Comfort or Ken Ham or like their Facebook following, it just pissed me the hell off.
Yeah, I've known both theists and atheists to assume that Christians are all young Earth creationists, and not realise that the majority of Christians, to the best of my knowledge, actually accept the theory of evolution.
Yeah, most people who accept the theory of evolution are Christians, and most Christians believe in evolution. It works literally both ways.
Oh man, remember Mark Anthony's stupid ass false dichotomy?
Oh my god,
what was that?
Ken Miller apparently can't believe in evolution because he's a Christian. Wow, makes perfect sense.
But I thought he wasn't a real Christian since he's Catholic.
Oh, right. Yeah, true enough.
Oh, yeah.
No, but Mark, yeah, no, I responded to that one, and I basically said to him, like, yeah, nice false dichotomy, buddy. And then he apparently tried to deny that it was a false dichotomy, and I just called him out more on that. And then apparently when it got to evolution, he says, well, evolution predicts that, like, we understand how evolution works, like, for some reason he thought that I didn't understand what it was. I do. He apparently he said, well, it predicts that the world is, or that the world is this old. And it's like, you moron! Evolution only predicts allele frequencies varying. Even if the world somehow, if we discovered tomorrow that the world was 6,000 to 7,000 years old, that still wouldn't prove evolution wrong. And he apparently thought that it actually showed how, it tried to prove how old the Earth was. No, we use geological methods to figure that out, dumbass.
Hey, Prudent.
Yeah.
Prudent.
What?
I never actually congratulated you on making the Dean's List last fall.
Oh, wow. Congratulations.
What the
Well,
done.
I was like, whoa. Still think I can't find you?
What?
Yeah.
Turning creepy in 1, 2...
None of this is difficult.
How do you know my real name? You know my real name, don't you?
All right, Prudent, I'll go ahead and tell you. Facebook has offered your real account as a requested, as a recommendation of a friend, and I didn't know it. I just saw your face. I was like, huh.
Googled your name, your hometown, your college, got your Dean's List award. Good job, by the way.
Yeah. I just really thought I didn't do as good. I had about a 3.8 for.
Not stalking, by the way. Not stalking.
This is kind of
Burns is watching. This is not stalking.
And that's why I try to reveal as little as I can from my real life.
I have to ask you, Lenny. I don't think we're Facebook friends. How did you figure out my real name?
It's not shockingly difficult, Prudent. I'm not going to say on air, but it's not.
Yeah, I was going to say, don't be asking him this in public.
It takes a half an hour. While you were rambling about Ray the Fuck Comfort, I was working on it.
Dang you, Lena. Well, okay, if it's any. Man.
So, alright. Go on.
So you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Dang it. Okay, so it's easy to figure out my real name.
Yep.
It's easy to figure out anyone's fucking real name.
Yeah, dude.
Does anybody know my real name?
Is it?
No, I don't think anybody knows your real name, Epi, although I might consider that a challenge. Don't tell me. I think I'm going to see if I can figure this out.
Oh, shit.
No.
Bob just posted a Facebook post that he can't sleep. Should we send him an invite?
No, he does not belong.
Bob.
Bob?
Bob.
Bob as in Raw.
No, Bob is in Bob Greaves.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant, the only Bob I'm aware of is Raw 6059, whatever his piggin name is.
Well.
Yeah. That's why I try to not talk about my real life much.
I mean, I do.
You're on the internet. You haven't got a real life.
I try not to expressly avoid it, just because I know people are gonna. If people really are pushing, they're gonna find out anyway. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Unless they're the Church of Scientology, because they've shown themselves to be inept.
Mm-hmm. Very much so. So, Prudent, how's my name finding coming across?
I just started, literally. Hold on. I just want to make sure I clarify one thing. So, if someone goes to my Facebook, they can find my YouTube page.
Yep.
What?
If someone goes on your Facebook, they can find the name of the school, the town you live in, and the school you go to.
But hold on, I did not set that up. They're not supposed to know. None of my friends on Facebook are supposed to know about my YouTube page.
Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear.
That would actually be bad, because I don't want to get a bunch of. Oh, why did you change your beliefs? Like, I don't want to get all that shit. Come on, like,
It's gonna happen eventually.
Okay, I did tell one of my friends, I think, about that. I haven't really told many yet. I don't want to say that very like at once. Like you go at it one friend at a time, whether they're religious or not. And that's only if the topic's ever brought up.
Yeah, that makes sense, to be honest.
Yeah. Because honestly, it's like, why would it's really not that big of a deal? But okay, that's just okay. You have to give me one hint, Lenny. What was the first?
In private, Prue. In
Yeah,
private.
yeah. Do that on Skype in private or something.
Damn it.
It's no fun if I give the game away.
Well, maybe you should tell him how he can make sure his friends on
Nothing
Facebook
he
don't
can do
find
about
out
it. There's
you.
nothing he can do about it. There's nothing anyone can do about it.
Well, yeah, I know, but I just thought if he's concerned about Facebook friends knowing about YouTube, maybe he could check if there's something there that.
All right, do you, Prudent? Do you want to know what it is? I mean, really, it's this is more or less what it is. The smoking gun was that I'm full of shit. We are Facebook friends.
Booyah.
Gotcha.
Wow.
Okay, so as it turns out, it looks like I will never be able to. Unless I can find Epicurus A Greek if he has a Facebook page.
I don't have a Facebook
Yeah,
page.
it's like, hey, Epi, friend me real quick. Not up to anything.
You know, if you
Nothing
like,
shady
you
going on.
You know, if you're willing to accept a private message, I'd be willing to friend you on Facebook if you like.
That's fine. It's fine. To be honest, I don't really care about knowing everybody's real name. Why do people make? Well, I think the reason why some people make a big deal over that, it's only I think like if you're talking like with somebody like who claims to be like an academic or very skilled in something. Like if someone says, "Oh, hey, guess what? I'm a physicist," like then you'd be like, "Oh, so what are your qualifications? Where would I find your dissertation? Where's your peer-reviewed literature?" Like that kind of thing. So I think that's kind of, like so. I think like for that example, like someone like Concordance, like who claims to be a PhD in molecular biology. It's like okay, like what would be his proof for that? Because he doesn't use his real name.
He is, and he has given it out. I thought you were a Concordance fan. You should know this.
I'm only like a new Concordance fan, and to be fair, I've heard like his. Okay, never mind.
I was actually impressed to see that Don Exodus became a dentist.
Yeah.
When he originally got on YouTube, he actually used that anonymity and lied. And put it up. There was a video about how you put down. He says it was a mistake, but I remember in the hang he confessed to he just made himself older when he originally created the account.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. Long story short, Don Exodus too. I think in his later videos he did reveal like his real name and shit.
Yep.
So he originally claimed you was a dentist,
Got a cool name
but
too.
then he became a dentist.
Oh, I know. Hold on, Epi. Do you know what his
Anyway,
real name?
regardless.
You know what long story short means?
New topic.
What's the name?
I don't want to.
New topic.
I put one over in the chat.
Okay, I see it. New topic? Okay. Nephilim Free, I challenge you to a debate, and if you don't show up in 3 weeks' time, I will have won you.
No, that's way too much. In 10 seconds.
Yep.
9, 8, 7, 6, 5.
Close enough, you win.
Yeah.
Congratulations, Epi.
Speaking of Nephilim Free, he's following me now on G+, and I'm wondering, is that normal, or...
He's
It
doing
means
me
he
too.
likes you.
Oh, okay.
Nothing about Neffy that's normal.
Okay.
I was gonna say.
Wait, you mean that's not his real name? No,
That is
sorry.
real. No, that is Don Exodus2's real name that I just put up. I just want to say I also happen to know somebody else's real name as well, and it's pretty easy.
Yeah, keep it in the chat. Keep it in here.
Actually, now that I think about it, I know all their names, all the big YouTubers' names, so to speak.
Oh,
I mean,
a big YouTuber then.
3.
You want to know how I found this guy's name? It's on his damn webpage for his educational educational website on evolutionary biology. Oh, may have made a little revelation of who, at least a hint of who it might be.
Well, good thing you do not know my real name. Ever.
We will figure it out one day. You can actually figure out my real name if you want. If you go to some of my videos, I sort of do accidentally doc drop myself. When I put the screen share on, I've a couple times I've put it on like where it's the whole desktop that's being screen shared, not just the internet page. So when the whole desktop is being screen shared, you can actually find my name like in the little in the upper right corner of the computer screen. It's right there.
Yeah, we're not stalkers, so not gonna do that.
So your real name isn't Squid Lips?
If anyone finds my real name, can you tell me? Because I've forgotten it.
No, anonymity is kind of a cool thing. You get that power to do that thing on YouTube, and then you realize that no, you really don't have that power because that shit out.
Hang on, I'm cutting in for another moment. For the sake of the 8 viewers, I'm posting the link to Eve's Hangout. It's probably more interesting than this one.
Yeah, but it's probably over by now.
Eve has a hangout? Damn it.
I know, she had a hangout a couple of hours ago, but I doubt it's still going.
No, it's still rolling right now.
I don't know, maybe it is, maybe it isn't, I don't know. Let me check.
I already checked. It is rolling right now.
Yeah, it was rolling last time I looked, so yeah. It's still
Well, that one was private at the meeting of the minds thing. I asked Shannon, she said it was privately set, so I just didn't.
That's just what she told you. No, I'm joking. Stop.
Probably
No
was.
idea.
I've
no idea. I don't recall seeing. When I logged in, I think the only invite I saw was to this one. But
oh wait a minute, let me check that. Was it done as unlisted or private? Let me look.
Well, I didn't get a link. There was only like 4 of them, 5 of them in there. There was something else.
Showing up on my stream.
Is theism the equivalent to marriage or some shit?
oh, what's on your mind? Yeah. Oh. Ah.
Seeing where it says it, it's not. Yeah, anyway.
Perhaps you need to be friends with her on G Plus to.
Maybe so, I don't know.
Has anybody had a chance to check out that link I put in the chat? Well, it's been 15 minutes ago.
Oh, I wasn't here 15 minutes ago, so I don't know what the link is.
Go check this other hangout out. That might be more interesting. We're being boring at this hour. I'm winding down at least.
Yeah, it's starting to hit that wall.
Yeah.
It's 4:30 in the morning.
5 over here.
Yeah.
It's 10 o'clock here.
I'm just starting to feel sexy right now.
9:30 in the morning.
Well, I'm off to work, guys.
Have a good one.
9:30 in the morning, and the sun is shining brightly, and we have blue skies. And I know that I'm in the UK, and nobody believes me, so.
Oh, hang on.
I do, only because I'm fucking sassy, amazing yourself.
Hang on, I
There's
gotta
actually a fucking sun.
Epi, thanks for joining us. Thanks for being the theist in the room, and thanks for not bringing up the fucking topic.
Oh, I'm actually not going to work right now. It was.
Oh, okay.
And what was the last thing you said?
I said, and thanks for not wasting time bringing up the damn topic.
Yeah, well, it's not like we get enough of it around here.
Yeah, I know. I always, there's one of these days that I've been joking that I'm going to sit there and see if I can fill the entire room with theists. And they'll all come in here, haha, so it's the atheist wanting to, just so I can say, what's your favorite movie?
I mean, I find that with mainstream theists, I have a lot more in common with mainstream theists than
anyone on here.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
What do you mean by mainstream? Like
those who don't have weird beliefs like G-Man.
G-Man is special. Everybody knows that in more ways than we probably know.
Although he's surprisingly fit and can run marathons.
But I mean, all the Christians are pro-gay rights, pro-abort, pro-choice. You know, all these pro-contraception. You name it. They have everything. They're progressive. They have a lot more in common with my views in general than some of the theists on YouTube that make those that are the loudest on YouTube.
A good portion of those that are involved in the quote great debate or whatever the fuck you want to call it. There's nothing great about it.
Master debate.
Yeah, that'll work.
It's just rabid bullshit from both sides that annoys me really.
Yeah, I agree with you there.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things. I'll participate for a little while, then I'm like, why am I bothering? Then I'll stop for a while. Right now I'm on the stop, basically.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Screw this. If I want to argue with people on the internet, I can do that anytime.
So we're talking about it now?
They will still be there to argue with, and there will be no new arguments, so what's the point?
Yeah, it's not like the opportunity's going away. The internet will still be there.
Or you're ever
Content
gonna
will be
win.
there.
Or you're ever gonna win. That's the thing with that debate. There's no winning in that debate. There's just arguing. That's it.
How does that saying work when you arguing on the internet is like participating in the Special Olympics, even if you win, you're still retarded?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Good.
Oh my god, I think I just realized something. What was I
Nope,
gonna say?
lost interest already.
Is it something profoundly disturbing?
You guys know, what's his name? Bart, who usually hangs out sometimes like on the Awesome Crew show.
Yeah, Bart, we know. Yeah, what's up?
Yeah, we all like Bart. Does anybody ever notice that he looks a little bit like Venom Fang X?
Ouch. Ouch. What did I do to you?
He actually
Sure,
does
without
look
Joker
like
makeup.
he actually does look like Venom Fang X, but he isn't.
Venom Fang X. You know, he had sort of made a comeback to YouTube. He made a couple of really god awful videos, and looks like I'll give it to him though. Venom Fang X. I'll just give him this though. If I look at him now compared to where he was a few years ago,
He still looks like a piece of shit.
He's less of a piece of shit now than he was a while ago. I'll give him that.
Even Thunderfoot actually posted on his video that he admires the fact that even though everybody insults him, derides him in the worst way, yeah, granted it's deserved, he still stays on here. He doesn't complain, he doesn't moan, he allows people to chat in the comment section.
Maybe he's a masochist.
That wasn't the way he started, though. After he did disable the comments, I think one time, like that was way back. What happened was really when and I think it was. You'll find this thing. It was around in 2009. You'll find it on Dejarm67's channel because it's no longer. It was Amir from J.R. Chadwick who did this really good series on the history of Venom Fang X on YouTube, and it gives him the whole story, like at least from 2006 to 2009. So this was actually before, you know, he went on another false flagging spree, but it talks mostly about his bout with Thunderfoot and how he had all these bullshit excuses saying, my family's getting threats. No, they're fucking not. But then he started off being just another Kent. He was just repeating everything Kent Hovind had said. He thought no one would figure that out. Everybody did. Eventually, it became so obvious. Then he tried to cover that up. He would even disable comments sometimes on his video just
Hang on. I got to cut in for a moment here. I'm sorry. We just got a question in Q&A a few moments ago. Why such hatred of religion? What you need to do is watch blah, 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 blah. Who has over 100 videos? Blah, blah, blah. You may learn something instead of disrespecting religion.
We're not.
Who are they talking about?
I have no fucking idea, seeing as I don't think we've been showing any hatred towards religion here.
Yeah, I haven't felt hatred since I got on here.
Mostly avoiding the topic, for that matter.
Yeah.
So, yeah, go pound sand. Have a nice day.
Same by some guy named Robert Castle.
Don't care.
John?
Don't care about him or what he's trying to promote.
Because he's wrong. But long story short, basically after the whole story kept going forward, he eventually got called out on his bullshit. Everybody realized it. He then kept he false flagged Thunderfoot. That got back on him. And then it was like shortly after that he did this stupid shit with stealing money for the kids' hospital, just in order to pay for his own shit, like a new camera and other stuff. I mean, that's a new low. And what was, I never saw that. I never heard much about this, but what's the deal with that one video where like he dresses up as the Joker and he's wearing like his mother's makeup and all that?
Yeah.
I don't remember. I don't think. Can you find that video here? Like, there's like any archive.
No, dude. There are occasions in people's lives where they crack under stress, and I don't think those ones should be preserved and mirrored. Just let them have their time, you know?
Yeah, I guess.
There's a level of common decency involved.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it existed. That's enough.
Mm-hmm.
As opposed to people who all their videos are like that.
Yeah, those people. Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of that too.
Well, you know, I also think that it's important that we don't let some of this stuff disappear.
Some of it definitely. There are other things, you know. Okay. Yeah, there was people that mirrored that one video of the meltdown by you know who.
Yeah.
That was in part due to my involvement in a discussion, but you know, it not being online, I don't have a problem with. You know, I mean,
yeah,
there are points that, you know, people act uncharacteristically and they regret their decisions, and I think in most of those cases there's a certain amount of leeway we should give people. Most.
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
It's another matter when somebody decides, you know, I feel like a real schlep, I'm going to apologize for something, and then decides, no, fuck you. That's a different matter. That's like, okay, you're just a dick.
Yeah, and I don't like to give the opportunity to rewrite history, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
It's not what I'm about. I'm never comfortable with that.
Yeah, I mean, that's a totally different matter entirely.
Yeah.
Oh, what's wrong with
you know, Venom
history
saying
revisionism?
snapping in one particular video and looking like a complete and total loon, and then kind of, wait, shit, what have I done? That, you know, that there's like I'm saying, there's leeway for that kind of shit.
And then, you know, it can actually help. Like, sometimes, you know, when you get in that retrospective, you sit back and you rewatch what you've been doing, you're like, holy shit, I'm fucked up.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think psychologists could have a field day watching individuals have a gradual meltdown, couldn't they? Studying certain people's videos from like when they started to when they melted. For study reasons, not because, well, I don't know. I'm sure some psychologists would watch it just for the lulz as well. I've met a few.
Well, what strikes me is that there are several people that have come on here, and immediately you see their first video, and you're like, what a fucking loon. And then over time, it's like, okay, there is some vague activity happening up there.
Yeah.
I mean, every once in a while, they'll surprise you in the other direction.
Sorry.
Not often, but, you know.
Once in a while.
Yeah, every once in a while, it's like, wow, they actually made sense. Shit, I'm agreeing with them. How the fuck did this happen?
Indeed.
All right, boys and girls, this is the end of my shuffle. It's 4:30 in the morning. I need to go to sleep.
Okie dokie.
Night, man.
Give me a spirit, Ronnie. That's all cool, though.
Oh, good night, sweet Glenator. Get out of here. Yeah, I'm pretty well winding down, too. We still have 8 viewers. Why do we still have 8 viewers?
Woo, 8 viewers!
How many of them are in this hangout?
I'm one of them.
Ah, damn it.
I'm not one of them.
There. How much is it now?
Neither am I.
It'll update eventually. It's incredibly unreliable with the view count. There was one occasion that the view count was at 0, and 3 people were like, no, I'm here, what the fuck? Yeah, I don't know. Apparently there were zeros. I don't know. Benna was one of them. But, you know, if there's generally, you know, I can't keep him out of my comment section, even if I wanted to. Which I don't, but still. But I did notice that a bunch of my regulars are actually watching the Eve Hangouts, so...
Well, yeah, Eve always gets a cool hangout. He's pretty popular.
What in the world are you doing?
I don't know.
Oh, so, wait, we keep getting the, we have the puppet squirrel now. It's like, you always, like, rotate through your squirrel images, don't you?
No, I've been doing the puppet squirrel for a bit of a while. Just because, you know, when I have the camera off and I start cussing somebody out or something, it's more fun for the rant puppet to be doing it.
I think the reason why we like having your camera on is because every now and then we see your little doggy and everyone just stops the room and like, aww.
No, that has nothing to do with it. And actually, I think she's still asleep. Yeah. She's crashed out. She's not annoying me for once.
I think, like I said, yeah, never mind.
was I gonna? I don't even remember what I was gonna say, but. So is anybody doing anything interesting in the next month, or are we just still doing the same internet stuff? That's because that's the whole point.
Same internet time.
That's like a little joke. I guess we can keep going. It's like, so you doing anything interesting at all? It's like, well, I'm going to be on Google Plus, I guess, for a little bit while longer. Oh, so that means no.
I'm going to be on the show called Prudent Discourse at 11 o'clock Eastern Standard Time on Friday. Well, not 5 o'clock Eastern Standard Time.
Dialogue. Remember although to be fair, I have considered giving it a name change, and
Hang on, Prudent. You asked a pertinent question. You know, what are we going to be doing?
Okay,
the same thing we do every night, Prudent. Try to
take over the world.
Try to argue people on the internet. You know, it's like that old credo. What my wife will come home, look over, see that I'm on the computer. She's like, "What, is somebody wrong on the internet?" And I'll go, "Yep."
So yeah, apparently I just did. There's a lot of mirrored versions of that Venom Fang X video with. I've never seen. I've heard about it, but I've never seen it. The one where he dresses up like the Joker. Good God, it's about that whole Thunderfoot bullshit.
No, it was uncomfortable to watch. I remember when that particular video came out, and everyone had this feeling of, dude, you've gone over the deep end. Get some fucking help.
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't like ha ha ha. It was like, fuck, dude, really.
What did he do?
Look, he dressed up like he put on his mother's makeup. At least that's what they say he did. And he dressed up like the Joker. He gave himself like a makeup makeover, made himself look like the Joker, and then he even started acting like the Joker.
This from the person that didn't see the video.
And then he was all like, wah! Like he would just give like the evil maniacal Joker laugh.
This was Venom Fang X?
Yeah, he did that back in 2008, back when all that with that bullshit between him and Thunderfoot was going on.
That guy is.
I certainly don't remember any mother's dress business, but what I do recall is that he put on the white face and he tried to do himself up like the Joker, but he was just basically snapping and he was using it to try to mock atheists, kind of, but it was so awkward and weird and uncomfortable and manic, frankly.
Yeah, pretty much. And then I think the next video was the one where he made that apology video to Thunderfoot, and you look at through the entire time. It's like, you're basically reading out through a script that somebody's basically giving you. It's like, you don't mean this shit you're saying.
No. He was required to read that statement as part of the agreement because he was looking at being really sued. He was under a massive amount of stress, both from that as well as from his parents, who were paying the bill for his existence and stuff. There was a lot going on. He was under a massive amount of stress, and it could happen to the best of us.
All right, so we can kind of cut him a break at that point. And again, he has, I think, made some strides for the better, at least in the past 5.5 years. So I'll give him that. But again, I mean, you just look back through some of the things he said. I mean, the worst.
Hang on. Dude, hang on. Here's what I'm saying here. Now, back in the day when Venom was making his videos, now granted, most of his shit was straight off other people's apologetics. He would actually, word for word, you could take what he was saying against one of the big apologists and line it up almost entirely word for word, to the point that he'd mispronounce certain terms because he didn't know the correct pronunciation. So clearly not his own words anyway around it. But at the same point, the arguments he made were better than most of the ones we see now, which is kind of sad. Granted, it's because most of them are plagiarized, but even so.
Yeah, and he was a good presenter, but I think he just...
as a person, he was kind of shit at times with some of the things he did, but, he's back out there, he's trying to put his feet back in the water. I'm willing to give him a chance.
Yeah, I know. The worst, as I say, but back when he was kind of a shit-ass person. I mean, the worst thing I think he ever did was that time where he made that response to the whole "why does God not heal amputees" argument. He says, well, it's because they don't deserve to have arms, they deserve to die. And I was just like, oh, Venom, you fucking twat.
Yeah. Damn well. I've heard worse from worse people.
No shit.
I mean, that's kind of the thing is, I mean, we run the gambit. I mean, and this goes obviously both sides.
Yeah, no, I agree with that, obviously, but
I mean, we have some real shitheads in our camp.
Oh, well, I don't really like to always think of it as like, oh, this is our camp, this is their camp. I mean, the only camp I think I'm in is my own.
Yeah, well, that's the way it's seen, though.
Yeah, but
one person does something stupid and out comes the broad brush.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, yeah, you can just deal with all Caliper and Pizzo shit, but there's obviously a few other really dumb atheists on YouTube. Bionic Dance, I would argue, is probably one of them, and it's obviously she proved that last week.
Did you catch the beginning of this hangout where I read a comment? Well, there was a bit of a thing on one of G-Man's comments, and basically we went back and forth on this one. I'll send you a link.
Okay. But I was gonna say though, this has really been kind of a bad week. Like last week, like I guess if we were putting the broad.
Hang on, guys. Just hang on a moment. It's going on 4 o'clock. This has been running for like fucking ever. It feels like now. And unless Dipstick Let's try and promote bullshit and claim that you're hating on religion, idiot, wants to say something else in Q&A, I think I'm going to cut the hangout because we are way the fuck winding down. For those that are viewing, I think Eve's hangout might still be going on. You can certainly go and bug her. I actually posted a link to it in the comments. And everybody have a good night, because, yeah, I'm getting tired. And